15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
First and goal at the Kansas City 1. Under center is Lawrence. The snap. Oh, he fell down as he pulled away. Hits the deck. Gets back up. Breaks the tackle. 5. Running in. Touchdown. Touchdown. Jacksonville touchdown.
Kevin Harlan on Westwood 1. That was crazy. Trevor Lawrence gets his foot stepped on by his own offensive lineman as they're down first and goal trying to win the game against Kansas City. And he gets up, says he panicked, which is a great admission because who wouldn't? Gets up and stumbles and bumbles his way into the end zone. And then the Jacksonville defense is able to hang on for another 20 seconds or so. And there you have it, Pearl. Your Jags beat the Chiefs last night.
Well, you don't think that was a design stumble play that Liam Cohen, the new genius of the NFL, said, fall down, Trevor, and get back, keep stumbling.
We have no timeouts. We have 20 seconds left. So we're going to need you to fall and make this really hard.
And by the way, that was completely on brand for the way Trevor Lawrence and the Jags played all night. It felt like he was just running around and about to fall, and then bam, they make a play.
Yep, it did feel like that. You know, this was a crazy one because if you're asking me what my big takeaway is outside of how exciting the game was, and you know, it was a fun ride last night, but my biggest takeaway is that the Chiefs are definitely going to have to go on the road here if they're going to try to do this again in the playoffs. You know, this could have been the game with Buffalo losing last night, and maybe we think Indianapolis has a time when they're going to come back down to earth. I'm like, all right, this is the time where if the Chiefs win this game, they put themselves back in the conversation for the number 1 overall seed. And instead, Jacksonville kind of shuts the door on them in that way. So now Kansas City is 2-3. Even Jacksonville is 4-1. Buffalo is 4-1. You've got the Colts are 4-1. So this is going to be a road venture here for Kansas City. If this is going to be the last ride for Travis Kelce, and if they're going to try to rip off another Super Bowl here and keep this dynasty alive, it's probably going to go through either Jacksonville, Indianapolis, or Buffalo.
Oh, I don't know, but it's definitely going to go through Buffalo.
Well, or Buffalo. But I'm just saying, technically Indianapolis is in first place in the AFC.
Yeah, no, but I don't think, I think the AFC South teams are going to face tougher schedules. Indianapolis in particular has gotten a kind of an easy road. Yeah, I think that Kansas City, we should have kind of seen this. They play the NFC East where Buffalo gets the NFC South.
Yep.
Generally, the teams that get either the AFC South or the NFC South get the gaudy records. It's just the way the Eagles, the other, and I think it was 22, just had a crazy weak schedule and got a lot of home field. That happens. Buffalo's getting home field advantage. There's just no way. I know they lost to New England. So KC was going to have to go on the road anyway, but who cares? They're Kansas City. We saw them win in Baltimore a couple years ago. We've seen them win everywhere. I actually didn't come away depressed about Kansas City last night.
Okay.
Because their offense was moving like crazy. I mean, listen. It is the fact that they don't have a lot of home run balls means that they are prone to mistakes like the Devin Lloyd pick 6.
Yep.
They were at the goal line, but I saw a completely masterful quarterback for Kansas City. I mean, that's no surprise. Patrick Mahomes was in his bag. I mean, he was running the ball. He was finding guys. Once they get Rashee Rice back, a wide receiver, they are going to have a lot of weapons on offense. And I do trust that defense enough. I think they ran into a running quarterback last night, which will neutralize a lot of teams. Happened to your Bills the other night. I actually feel okay about the Chiefs, even though they will have to go on the road in the playoffs. They still have Mahomes. Kelce made a play at the end. Their receiving core is going to trip into actually being very good. I don't know how. They got their running game going a little bit. So I know the record, and I know they play Detroit next week, so it could go even to 2-4. I am not even close to counting out the Chiefs.
Okay, that's fair, and they've earned that. But there are some also uncharacteristic things that are going on with the Chiefs,
like
at least last night. And it kind of reminded me a little bit of Buffalo on Sunday night, which is the mistakes. I mean, all the penalties. Buffalo had 11 in their game on Sunday night. Kansas City had 13 penalties last night for over 100 yards of penalty yardage, and 4 of them came on special teams, and it actually really hurt them. Manny, your special teams back in not because of long field goals or anything like that, but some of these holds that backed them up and, took them out of field goal range even at the end of the game where they would have had a chance to, at least tie the game more easily. Instead, came up snake eyes and they lose.
Those officials could have let every one of those holds go. I don't know why they're emphasizing holding on kick returns. I think they're worried they made this new kick return rule and the kick returns are coming back too far, and they're emphasizing that play. They were marginal.
Or the Chiefs were just holding.
I also saw the whole NFL had too much holding on run plays last week. That is their early season emphasis right now. Maybe, not really though. I mean, you saw the last block where they called holding. Come on, that play is going so fast. You could easily let that one go. And then normally they do let that go on a kick return.
Well, they let a couple of them go. They let a pass interference go on a Trevor Lawrence interception that set up Kansas City inside the 10-yard line. I was like, come on, are we doing this now with Kansas City?
I thought you were talking about the rub play where they scored the touchdown.
No, that's another one.
Well, they let that one's hard. But the holdings, those will go away. First of all, Jacksonville came in the most penalized team in the league, and they didn't call anything on them. And you're telling me Jacksonville with an injured O-line didn't hold? Get out of here. I don't know. It felt like it was marginal. Listen, I went on social media and complained about a call against the Chiefs. Oh, that was a mistake.
Why?
America is still mad that the Chiefs are good. And they're like,
I told you.
My gosh.
You're always no one's turned on the Chiefs. I'm like, I think they have, dude.
I thought the Super Bowl loss made everyone forget that the Chiefs got all the calls. Apparently not.
No.
People hate the Chiefs.
Well, because they seem to get these kind of calls. Again,
last night they had 13 penalties.
Well, that's why I'm saying, I thought some of them actually were legitimate, not just, ticky-tack. Yeah. The referees didn't have to call this because they did miss a huge pass interference, as I said, on a Trevor Lawrence interception that never should have counted as an interception in the fourth quarter, and it set up a Kansas City touchdown that tied the game.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there were definitely...
that just happened. You don't have to defend it.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but the officials, got on the Chiefs last night. There was no doubt about it. There were 13 penalties, and not all of them were obvious.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's
fair.
definitely
penalties made a difference in that game for Jacksonville.
Here's what I ask, though, and this is why I'm this is my bigger global kind of takeaway, along with the fact that Kansas City is going to have to go on the road. We've seen them do it before. They went to Buffalo. They went to Baltimore. We've seen them get to the Super Bowl even as a wild card team, as a road team. But here's my other thing. It's just not a buttoned-up operation right now. I mean, the Jags made a lot of mistakes. Also, Trevor Lawrence is he was the hero of the game last night, no doubt, but he also makes some dumb penalties. We're year 6 for him, and he's still throwing the ball in front of the line of scrimmage. He's still taking delay of game penalties when you can't. He's taking sacks when you can't. He still has a ways to go here, but obviously it looks a lot better when you win the game. I thought the Chiefs were not buttoned up, just like I saw with my Bills on Sunday night. This was not a buttoned-up operation, and the Jags defense right now is really opportunistic. They are leading the league in takeaways. Their run defense is obviously for real. Mahomes is the leading rusher again last night for his team, which is not how they want it to go. So to me, it just didn't seem like they were the usual Chiefs who kind of win at all those moments when it feels like the game is in hand hanging in the balance.
They had this drive at the end of the game, and it felt, it felt like this is the Chiefs' drive where Patrick Mahomes used his legs, he used short passing, they did everything. It was perfect. That felt like the Chiefs. Just the way the clock landed.
Are you talking about the touchdown drive?
The touchdown drive, the second to last drive.
Yeah, they have a 12-play drive that lasted about 6.5 minutes.
It was incredible.
Yeah,
that was the Chiefs. That was the winning drive. But the clock happened to leave way too much time. And, of course, because it's 2025, the Jags started at the 40. The kicker screwed up and kicked it out of bounds.
Out of bounds. Again, these are the small things we're not used to them making mistakes.
And you think there's a team in the NFL that is above screwing up the new kickoff rule? That is not true. Everybody's starting.
Don't kick it out of bounds. That's not you don't have to be a tactician for that.
Well, the reason he kicked it out of bounds is they're trying to hit the landing zone, and it's just a mess. And even if they don't kick it, if the guy catches it, he usually gets it out to the 35 anyway. Or you kick it in the end zone, it goes to 35. So that is not unique to the Chiefs. I thought that last drive by the Chiefs was very impressive, and that's why I'm scared of them. You see that team in the playoffs. The defense, I admit, last night had some trouble with Lawrence. There were just a couple plays, especially Lawrence's legs. That is not something, come playoff time, mobile quarterbacks come back to earth. You have time to prepare for them. That is always the case. You're not going to run for 100 yards against the Chiefs in the playoffs. as a quarterback. So I'm not so panicked about them. In fact, I'm a little encouraged. I think they could even lose next week and go to 2-4. Once Rashee Rice gets back there, the way Mahomes looks right now, he's going to be ferocious the second half of the season.
Okay, 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476 if you want to weigh in on the Chiefs. I just want to me, they don't look the same still. Yeah, they can put it together for a drive or two, but uncharacteristic mistakes and sloppy play, usually they win this game. Can I give you another one that I thought was a little odd? And I don't know what it means. It could mean absolutely nothing. But halftime, Kansas City is up 14-7, okay? We are actually, let's fast forward here. Jacksonville's up 21-14. It's the beginning of the fourth quarter, okay? Mahomes just threw that interception pick 6. So they get the ball back, obviously, right away.
Yeah.
They go 8-play drive. They're in the middle of a drive. They're at the Jacksonville 44, and they're trailing. It's a 4th and 2, and Andy Reid punts. Now, no one's going to remember this because 2 plays later is that interception I was talking about, the one that they didn't call pass interference on, and then the Chiefs score right away. But here, and that tied the game at 21-21. But Andy Reid punting on a 4th and 2 on the Jacksonville 44. Were you surprised by that?
No, it's Andy Reid. He doesn't know what he's doing game management. He's been doing that for 30 years.
No, but you can't get 2 again. You can't get 2 yards. You've got Worthy back. You've got Kelsey is playing well. You've got Tyquan Thornton now as more of a deep threat. Yeah. Juju Smith-Schuster is out there. If Pacheco can catch the ball on those wheel route things they do. There's the out route. There's so many things and so many things at your disposal, let alone Mahomes just running the ball. You can't get a 4th and 2. And I know Jacksonville's defense was very good. They had just pulled off a pick 6. But I was shocked that Andy Reid didn't go for it there.
Yeah, that was a mistake. But, I mean, I think the Chiefs understood that the game flow-wise, like, they were probably playing better at that point. And they kind of were.
Even after a pick 6.
Yeah, well, the drive before the pick 6 was, again, wildly impressive. Their EPA per play was very high. Like, they were moving the ball very well. Like, they were having no trouble with Jacksonville's defense. So I think that they thought, you know what, we can give it back to them here and still be in control of the game. And they were. Honestly, it's a little bit of luck. You have, last year they were 15-2, and they gave away the last game. They didn't play their starters, the Chiefs. But you can't win all those close games. It's just eventually it's going to flip the other way.
Yeah, well, that's the Chiefs' mystique. Like the Chiefs' magic is not just, it used to be that they would just crush you on offense and they had a great defense. But now it's become they win in the margins. They're the ones who are the smarter team. They're the ones who get the calls. They're the ones who seem to have this sort of luck or skill or whatever on their side. And they're always the ones who, if you have the ball, even with 22 seconds left, you're worried that Mahomes is going to find a way.
Well, they called,
it just didn't happen.
They would have, but they called holding on that kickoff, and they were down. That was, everyone knew Mahomes was going to get them in field goal position. That's why I was actually a little frustrated because I wanted some overtime football. I think, did they need, what was the final score?
31-28. They needed that field goal.
I wanted some overtime football there. I had to stay up late.
Wow, you wanted another tie?
Well, I had to stay up late because I had some bank fraud issues last night. So I was on the phone with Citibank as this was going on.
Wait a minute. I just had the fraud issues last week and now you, dude?
Yes.
What happened? Oh, no.
This is embarrassing.
It's always embarrassing. It's not your fault.
No. It wasn't. I wasn't scammed. I was running around like crazy because my wife is bedridden. There's some backstory here.
Yeah, of course.
She had hip surgery.
.gov, guys.
That was me.
I left my bank card in the ATM.
Oh, that's the worst.
I don't understand.
You're distracted.
I was distracted. I was on the phone with my father-in-law talking about my wife, and I don't know how the guy got it out of the ATM, but somebody charged like $1,000 to some random cleaning service in Brooklyn.
Oh, no.
Because I went back 15 minutes later, and it was gone. So, and then Citibank, I was on hold for an hour and a half. I don't understand, too. It was an overseas call center. Like, why was I on hold for an hour and a half at 10 o'clock at night? Anyway, so I'm on hold watching the game, and it was such a treat because it was a thrilling game. It was a great game.
It was a fun game, except for the penalties. It's made it kind of herky-jerky. But no, it was fun.
It was just like kind of the game you want because we've been waiting for this Trevor Lawrence. Since we started the show together, Trevor Lawrence has been kind of the same, like just about to be good. And last night he was great. Like, he was right there with Mahomes when it came down to it.
Yeah, he was. Again, still a lot of mistakes for me, but
That's even more fun to watch. Like, it's the fact that it's not perfect for some reason makes him more entertaining to me.
Yeah,
and
maybe.
he's 6'5". I've been next to him. He's a legit 6'5". He runs for a big man. Like, he's really, really fast.
yeah, I think they worry about him running and maybe getting hurt, but he actually has not been awesome in the beginning of the season. So I was glad for Trevor Lawrence that this kind of felt like his signature game, because the Jags have been off to a good start, but he has been like career low numbers, and the defense has been carrying them a little bit more. But he put on a display last night, and that final drive. I'm sorry, I can't get past you leaving the card in the ATM. I feel like nowadays, before you can even get the cash, they're beeping at you to get the card back.
Wow, that's where it gets even more complicated.
Wow.
I was depositing checks. I was
What?
depositing checks from the movies I've been in, residuals.
Oh,
And these are
hustle.
you have no, it's not even hustle. It's the week of, and that's my boy, and they're tiny checks, so it's like $13.48. Like,
Oh, $13.
yeah. Residual checks for movies that I was a featured extra in with Dan Patrick and the Danettes, and there's a bunch of them that I collected.
Just act like you do on the show. It's no big deal. Don't worry about the cameras. Don't worry
Yeah.
about all the extras. You're fine. You're fine.
Yeah, I had to deposit all these small movie checks. So there was a bunch of them, and I was on the phone. I had a bag of groceries. I was waiting for my daughter, and there was like 3 people behind me. Anyway, I don't know what happened. It was a total Perloff disaster.
Oh, my God.
You ever see the episode of Seinfeld
play for?
where Jerry has all the $1 checks?
I have seen that
It's
episode.
very much like that when you were a featured extra, thanks to Dan Patrick. And I've told this story before. There's way too much information. There's a movie called Week Of where Adam Sandler and Chris Rock, their kids get married, and I'm in it for a millisecond. It is the millisecond that keeps on paying. So
$13 at a time.
$14.27 the week of, $15.83. So yeah, it was a lot going on last night.
Wow, that image of you at the ATM,
Andy,
phone on the
Oh,
shoulder,
phone on the shoulder with a bag of groceries on the other shoulder.
depositing checks into an ATM with
Yeah.
people behind you probably wanting to murder you.
It's the most
Oh,
amazing
they were
thing I
so
ever
mad.
saw.
That's
Yeah.
what happened. I felt a peer pressure.
And then you left so what about the person behind you? See, that's a bad heads up there. We live in a society. You have a line of people behind you. You leave your ATM card. Someone's got to go run you down. Hey, sir.
Not when they're about to commit fraud. By the way,
Must have been the person behind you.
yeah, they were about to charge $1,000, says something, but they had a bunch of charges that got denied. The bank figured out this is fishy pretty quick.
Yeah, they're pretty hip to it
But
now.
thank God for your scam, because I Googled the number of the bank and I was not confident that this is the actual number.
It's really hard.
Like,
It's really,
I'm
really
like,
hard.
I might be calling the Czech Republic. I don't know what's happening here.
Yeah, you'd be lucky. Maybe someone in the Czech Republic could be a little stand-up. Who knows? These scams are coming. It feels like the walls are closing in, right? You don't
Yeah.
know what to believe. And I try to fancy myself an aware, kind of smart-ish person, and I got scammed hook, line, and sinker.
The young guys on the other side of the glass are looking at us like we're
I
95
know,
years old.
I know. This is like how I look at
TM.
I know. This was like that's an unforced error from you, though, just leaving the card.
See,
The scammer didn't
I
have to
actually
work
feel,
for that one.
I feel proud of myself that I didn't fall for a scam there. I just was an idiot.
Perloff, may I introduce you to something very, very new? They just came out with it. It's called direct deposit.
Not for the residuals.
Oh, no, I know. There's an app where I can, not for the residuals. Usually my wife's like, just take a photo of it and send it to the bank. I'm like, I don't have time to do that.
What's the fastest way to do this?
Yeah, I know. I
I'm
just
kind of
remember-
surprised you don't deposit your checks on the app.
By all the time that you go downstairs, go to the bank, get it all deposited, by the time you take your picture, taking the picture, you cut your time by more than
But
half.
then my wife leaves the
Three-quarters.
checks lying around that she took the pictures of, and I don't know if they've been deposited or not, and it's chaos. But she won't write deposited on her. I had a strict lecture to her. The other day.
Oh, I'm sure she
Well,
appreciated that.
That's a her thing right there.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and all this is in the mix. The Phillies lose, but I'm on hold with Citibank, and we're coming towards overtime, and I'm like, all right, more football. At least that'll be good for me, and nothing.
Look on the bright side, though. At least on Thursday, the Eagles have a get-right game.
That's true.
The Giants?
Mm-hmm.
You thinking
Yeah.
about going to that game?
No,
Yeah.
Thursday night.
With our schedule, it's a
going
little
to a Thursday night at 8:20 game, which will end at 11. You'll get out by 1. I would come right here. Is that the plan?
I don't
For
know.
the Giants?
I'm just saying it's local, right? This one's in New York, no?
Who cares?
It's tough.
I think it is in New York.
Our schedules make this really hard. But anyway,
I'm
last
out on the
night,
Giants.
Did the Chiefs, you worried a little bit about the Chiefs? I've said I'm worried about them. And last night, I don't know if they're going to have another game where they have 13 penalties. That seems like maybe a one-off, but it just does not seem as buttoned up as it has. 888-710-4ISN. Now they're 2-3. Jags are 4-1. Chiefs are 2-3, and they're going to have to be the road warriors here if they want to get back to the Super Bowl.
Well, yeah, but they have, I'm telling you, Rashee Rice is coming back. Like, all of a sudden, Mahomes has weapons everywhere. And Hollywood Brown played great last night.
Yeah.
I've been criticizing him all year long.
Until he didn't get his head around on what was a really crucial play. There's something also going on with the Chiefs receivers. Like, it's not just the opening game where Travis Kelce ran into Isaiah Worthy and then he was out for a couple games. Like, they were in the same spot, same depth of field.
Yeah.
But it felt like last night Hollywood Brown, good at some points, but also, again, didn't get his head around to catch a Mahomes pass where he had green grass all the way in front of him, also would have put them in field goal range.
You
to tie
mean
the
at
game
that very last
at
drive.
the very end.
But that was
these are the moments where the Chiefs always seem to come through. And I also felt like Kelce and Worthy were also in the same area on another Mahomes throw. It was hard to tell because for some reason ESPN doesn't want to show replays on Monday Night Football. I don't get that. We don't have nearly enough, in my opinion. But that's just a message to the executive producer.
Come on, Daddy.
But there was 8 seconds left in the game and a scramble drill on that Hollywood Brown thing. I don't think that was a normal thing. They had 500 yards offense, basically. They haven't done that in forever.
They only needed a field goal, and that would have given Harrison Buckers, one of the best in the league, an opportunity to tie the game.
They were right. They had 16 seconds when they started that drive. That was down at the 10-yard line. That was not an easy assignment. You always think, oh, well, there's because you're a Bills fan.
Yeah.
Well, there's 11 seconds left in the game. They can go 45 yards, no problem. But they got pinned backwards. This was an impressive offensive performance. They had 476 yards. We have to have the research team look it up. What's the last time the Chiefs had that many yards in a game? I'm telling you, once Rashee Rice gets back, that's going to be a difficult team.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. There you go. Ever leave your ATM card just right in the ATM?
Oh, yeah.
No, that incessant beeping reminds me.
I
of
know,
that.
but I wasn't getting cash. I was just depositing silly little checks, which are stupid. You're right. I'm using the app from now on. My bad.
I think Manny is so young, he doesn't remember the days when the ATM didn't beep at you. There was a whole other time.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Well, you used to be able to put your card in and out immediately and you didn't have to leave it in there.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yep.
But here's the other problem. Like, I never get checks. Does anyone actually get checks?
I got a check yesterday.
Most of my stuff is direct deposit, so I never have to deal with checks.
What's a check?
I know.
Yeah, you don't get
It's
checks,
this crazy
right?
paper thing.
Uh-uh.
I used to use. I actually need a check to send to somebody else, like to give to someone else. And I asked my husband yesterday, I was like, do we have
I haven't
checks?
had a paper check sent to me since 2014.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, paper checks are not good.
But they made it as easy as humanly possible on the app. But you were at an ATM yesterday, so you were doing some business.
Yeah,
You're
it's-
trying to be efficient, taking care of stuff.
Yeah, you know how it is. You're a parent. Yeah.
Every second counts.
I mean, the Perloff household right now is a disaster.
You guys are falling apart.
How's your
Yeah,
wife?
you have no idea. It's terrible right now. No, my wife's doing great, by the way. She's recovering from hip surgery, but I'm not doing so well.
Well, once one parent goes down, it's chaos.
Yeah.
888-710-4ISN.
What?
Who's feeding the kids?
Well,
They'll figure it out.
No, I'm the cook in the house. I'm the chef. So that part's no problem. It's the incessant laundry of a 13-year-old and 15-year-old.
Sure.
I don't understand how my 15-year-old goes through 3 pairs of jeans a day.
Yeah.
Or are we just washing the same clean jeans again and again? That's dawned on me as well.
Everything's falling apart at Perloff's house. I mean, shout out to the single parents out there because that is just, it's impossible even sometimes with 2 people.
Yep.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Okay, you want to weigh in last night on the Jags and the Chiefs? Let's do it. Coming up, we have so much to get to today. Major news. An update on that Mark Sanchez story that's just been bananas and so much more. It's the Maggie and Perloff Show.
Have you thought about what team you want to play for?
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 4 minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
All right, welcome back, Maggie and Perloff Show. Maggie, I was looking at the stats. I think this is a time to bet on Patrick Mahomes for MVP because he is up there in all the categories. The big one to me is QBR, which is sort of a accumulation of everything. He is fourth. The people ahead of him are Daniel Jones. That's not going to happen. Sam Darnold. That's not going to happen. And Dak Prescott, who probably won't get enough wins to get the MVP, probably. So Mahomes' numbers are great this year. Mahomes is actually playing well. I think he's going, if they fall to, say, 2-4 if they lose to Detroit,
yeah,
I think he's going to be on a mission to win and get into the playoffs in the second half of the season. He'll have big numbers. He'll run a lot. Can he stay healthy? I think he's like your quarterback in Buffalo, Josh Allen, running a lot. But I feel like Mahomes is really seeing the field right now, and I think he is going to be a demon if the Chiefs' back is against the wall. We're going to see like really, really intense Patrick Mahomes, which we didn't see a lot last year because they were winning close games. They were winning with defense and running as well, mixing it up. I feel like once Rashee Rice gets back, we're going to see Mahomes doing everything.
Yeah, he's got a will to win that is, undeniable. But are you sure the Chiefs are going to have enough wins to get Mahomes into the MVP conversation?
Well, I think if he gets to 10-7, then because of the Chiefs, I think that people will give him a lot of credit, and that will feel like enough. I mean, they gave it to Josh Allen last year because it was his turn. I think that Lamar's out of the picture. Allen got his last year, and
they had 13 wins last year too.
Right, but it has nothing. It's a narrative award, right.
And now I think Baker Mayfield actually has the people's attention.
Yeah, but they've only won there. They're 4-1 by the thinnest of margins. Are they going to get enough wins? I just think Mahomes at the end of the year is going to have the best stats possibly, and it's his turn. I feel like he's one of those guys who's underappreciated by voters, kind of in a Michael Jordan way.
He's already won 2 though.
Right, but he should win every year. Not last year, but he's the best quarterback. Like last year, Josh Allen was the MVP, but who won the playoff game?
Mahomes.
Yeah, who was the better quarterback in the playoff game?
Listen, it's Mahomes is on the top until somebody knocks him off.
Yeah, I just feel like people are like, we haven't given it to him in a while. Just what we'll see. I mean, who's your bet is Baker Mayfield? That's a good one.
No, I mean, I don't know if this is going to hold up here for Baker, but I think that Allen is still in the mix.
Well, right. I mean, maybe Allen is great. I was just wondering.
I actually think Jared Goff is in the mix, and they're going to play Detroit next week on Sunday Night Football, and we'll see what happens with that head-to-head. Justin is in North Dakota. Justin, what do you think about the Chiefs last night falling to the Jags?
They looked like the Chiefs, but they also, the Jaguars. You got to give them credit. They pulled it off, and the Chiefs just kind of. I mean, they can't run the ball right now. I think Mahomes had the most rushes or the most yards. I think he had 60 yards rushing, and Kareem Hunt was close with 48 or something like that. They need to figure out how to run the ball.
Fair.
Yeah, that one play, Kareem Hunt. I think 5 years ago, Kareem Hunt would have taken that to the house, but he got run down. Absolutely, that's why I think Mahomes is going to have huge numbers. He has to do everything there.
Yeah, I agree. He does have to do everything, but that's also that helps defenses when they have to game plan against it, where they know all right, they can't run the ball. We got to watch Mahomes, and but he is dangerous. He is the best player in the league right now. I agree with that, but Baker Mayfield is coming on.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. They got a tough schedule. I think they got the Lions Sunday night, and then Raiders should be an easy one. But then they got the Commanders on a Monday night football game. I think all 3 of those are home, so that gives them an advantage. But then they go to Buffalo and Denver, and those aren't no easy W's for them.
No doubt, Justin. Good call. Thank you for making it. It's like when the whole team has to be Mahomes, is that actually a recipe for winning? We've seen it. He, again, can will his team to a win, but you do get a little predictable when you can't run the football.
Well, they're going to do once Rashee Rice comes back, they love the quick bubble screen to him. They'll run that 8 times a game, and it works. And they used that actually last night a little bit to Worthy. So the pass plays are like run plays with the Chiefs. We see that all the time, right? One thing, our guy Xavier Worthy, is he going to be able to stay on the field? I don't know. I'm not sure what the follow-up to his injury last night was.
The ankle injury.
But he stepped out of the game, and he feels fragile, but awesome.
Hey, by the way, we're going to Bogusch here in just 1 second. So Travis Hunter had a pretty good game last night.
Pretty good.
On my fantasy bench, yeah.
Oh. So obviously as a huge catch in the game, had a couple good defensive plays as well. At one point looked like maybe he had pulled a hamstring. Did we ever get an update on that? Maybe I was brushing my teeth or something.
Oh yeah, he was limping around.
Yeah, I know. And then he's back in the game and he played 1 million more snaps.
Could have been cramping.
Could have been cramping.
It was hot.
I just feel like we never got an update. And I love the Monday Night Booth. I love their crew. I think they're great. I think one of the best.
Got something to say about Joe Buck?
No, Buck's the best. I need an update. I'm one of those people who's always liked Joe Buck.
I think the officiating expert is not batting, does not have a good batting average.
I love Buck. I think he's fun. He's sneaky funny.
Everybody loves Buck.
No,
you're
people
saying like
hate
it's a
Joe
hot
Buck.
take.
No,
yeah,
no.
no.
He gets more hate than anybody.
I watched a little bit of the Manning cast last night. I had forgotten it. So I've not been into the Manning cast.
Yeah, me neither.
They had Heidi Gardner, who got fired off SNL.
She got fired. Break down that touchdown.
If you read the New York Post every day like I do, she was asked to leave.
No kidding.
Well, I mean, why would she leave?
I don't know. Sometimes people leave. Sandler left. Your guy.
Yeah, you got to read the Post day to day.
That's a stupid question.
They cover some politics, but mostly SNL backstage news.
All right, I'll get on that. And a little Taylor Swift news, too, I'm sure.
What's the latest on Marcelo Hernandez?
He's on fire right now.
Oh, yeah. Hottest Cuban out there right now.
Was he Cuban?
I think he's Cuban.
Is he Cuban?
He's from Miami, so he must be.
He stole the show in Happy Gilmore, too. If you don't know, what's that skit that he's well known for, Manny?
Fernando.
Fernando. Yeah. And
Fernando's always stealing the bride on the bachelorette party.
Yeah.
He's Esteban, my caddy.
He has this thing where they're on a golf range and he's the moving target and they hit him. He kills that scene. That guy's going to be a star, or he's a star.
Let's get to Bogusch. What's up, folks?
Guys, you got your headlines. They're sponsored by PrizePicks. Football is heating up, and so is the hard-hitting action on PrizePicks. Download PrizePicks and use code PRIMETIME.
It's going to be an Eli.
And get $50 in bonus credit instantly when you play $5. Must be present in certain states. Visit PrizePicks.com for restrictions and details.
He's Esteban, my caddy.
Let us begin in the bottom of the ninth inning in Philadelphia last night. The Dodgers had a 4-1 lead, 3 simple outs away from a 2-0 lead in their NLDS. But then the first 3 Phillies reached, producing 2 runs. But then the Phils bunted into an out, then 2 ground ball outs, and the rally was dead. Michael Barkan and Ruben Amaro Jr. did not handle the loss well on the postgame show on Philly TV.
And what Rob Thompson did was not pinch run. He bunted with Stott when he could have
pinch run.
Who's he going to pinch
run?
He could have pinch run.
He could not have pinch run the guy.
How could he not have pinch run?
He could not have pinch run the guy because he had to hold on Bader. Bader could not run the bases.
I would have let
only hit.
Ruben, I would have let Bader walk.
You would have to
let him walk the second. The run scores.
The man, he would have been done if he would have had to run. He probably would have hurt
I wouldn't have had him run, but that's how you got to be thinking. Come on.
Come on.
Come on, you dope.
Cry me a willow, Philadelphia fan.
You know the funniest part about that is one of those guys used to be the general manager for the Phillies.
The guy defending not pinch running.
Yes. That guy yelling on Philadelphia television used to actually run the team. That is the most Philadelphia thing I've ever heard.
You forgot a single in your recap. Bader came in and hit a single that would have knocked in Castellanos if they hadn't done that stupid bunt. I think all of Philadelphia was yelling at Rob Thompson like,
yeah.
If the public gets to vote, he is gone.
Yeah, but if the player actually did his job and laid the bunt down, and we probably would have been revering Rob
I think
Thompson
the bunt
today.
was okay.
The bunt
I
was
think
good.
once he played it so well, and Castellanos shouldn't have been on second base still.
Hey, but you know I
wonder,
love bunts.
Yeah, so is that the right play? If you're trying to move a guy from second to third to bunt on the third base side, are you supposed to really try and get it to the first base side?
I think you want to make the third baseman feel that ball.
Yes, you do.
Because you want to pull him off the bag.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's coming down the bag. He made
He's
the play
coming
because
down
he was
anyway.
10 feet from home plate when he fielded it.
If he had gotten it on the first base side, the Castellanos could have walked in the third, though. It was a great bump, but a great play by Muncy. See, in the modern era of baseball, you don't see that kind of play anymore because people don't bunt.
I love
small
bunts.
ball.
It's my favorite play. In baseball, it's a bunt.
It's just
so
so funny because usually it's like you got a one-run deficit. And generally in this day and age, it's like, all right, who's going to crank a home run here?
Oh, well, now the Phillies home run hitters can't even make contact, so that's out of the question. Same with Shohei. I have a question. Would you guys rather lose 10-1 or lose 4-3 like that? Because I'd much rather take
what was
the
your
10.
Question?
Would you
rather lose
directed at
10-1
Manning,
or
who did lose
13-7?
10-1. Would you guys rather lose a close game like that, like brutal in the ninth inning, or just get blown out? Because I'd take the blowout. That was painful.
No, I thought actually you showed a little life here. I mean, you're down 4-0, and then you almost come up big with a rally. I think that's got to be encouraging. You're down 0-2. I mean, let's call it what it is. The series is probably over anyway.
Right, that's what I mean. So the series
but at
kind
least
of
you showed a little something. You didn't get. I'm sorry. I mean, the Yankees they
Watch
need a
it.
big rebound tonight. Listen, they might. Carlos Rodon, but I was a little surprised about what happened when you got Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber up in big moments in the sixth inning.
Well, apparently Kyle Schwarber is 0 for his last 640 42 at bats.
I mean, that 1 4-homer game that he had is the last good, huge game he's had in like 2 months.
Is he hurt?
No, he's in a mental slump, and they said he's taking extra. I think at a certain point he's 0 for 21 in his last 21 at bats.
Is that bad?
Yeah, that's pretty bad. But by the way, I mean
that we could all do.
Shohei's not done much either. Like they haven't been able to take advantage of Shohei being cold. So I don't even know what to say about Harper. Harper's okay, but Schwarber's been terrible. It just happens. We all root for teams that have had sluggers
did
go
Shohei drive
cold.
in a run last night?
Yeah, but I don't think he had a hit before that. He drove in the last run last night.
He also pitched 6 innings.
Yes.
Yeah, he has 6 strikeouts in 2 games. That is very uncharacteristic for him. That's pretty bad. Last night, the game before, he was 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts.
I know, but again, he did pitch 6 2/3 or a third. I forgot what it was.
You want to have a joint therapy session, Pearl?
I don't know if there's a therapist on earth that could fix you guys.
Yeah,
you'd have to go to Vienna.
I'm not. It's so funny. Playoff baseball. It's like you can blame anyone you want. It just goes fast. Like you're on top of the world, and then you're done in like a heartbeat.
Tell me about it.
You could also blame Rob Thompson.
You could, but I mean, the Phillies are just kind of cold. And I said coming in the series, the Phillies get really cold sometimes. It just happens. And I'm not sure. What's the expression? It's baseball, or
yeah, it's baseball, Susan.
It's baseball. That's a good expression. It's baseball. There's no I think people are going after Rob Thompson because they want to blame somebody, but Kyle Schwarber,
that's baseball.
We'll see. Maybe they're doing this intentionally to get his value down.
Oh God.
Wait, who's they?
The Phillies.
They're sabotaging him?
I mean, by the way, when he's striking out, he's not coming within 3 feet. He looks like Manny at the batting cage.
Wait, I rake. Don't know what you're talking about.
Which hitter over here?
It's slow pitch softball.
Who cares? I'm making contact. I want to see all 4 of you losers get up on there and try to make contact.
Let's
you guys
go.
probably wouldn't make contact. I know this one can't.
Yeah, I'm terrible with baseball, and I got a bad shoulder. I'm out.
And a bad knee.
And knee too.
Sometimes I'll get in those batting cages. I'll be like, this is slow pitch. It feels like it's coming at me pretty fast.
Yeah, have you ever stood there with 60? It's like,
60?
That is smoking in there.
60? What am I, a professional athlete?
Yeah. It's doubly embarrassing. Perloff left his ATM card in the ATM yesterday, so that's embarrassing. But going to a batting cage and basically, being embarrassed when little kids are next to you.
The little kids
making
always
contact.
Yeah, or the little kids just stop and watch the adult, and that's that's a lot of pressure. We should all go to the batting cage as a group. That'd be fun.
I'm in.
Midtown?
Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't assume I'm invited.
Yeah, we'll see.
Are you?
No, you can't play.
Yeah, that's fine. Makes sense.
You have a good swing?
I'm okay. I didn't have a good swing for when I needed it in high school baseball, but I think for a 45-year-old dad, I've got a good swing now.
Right.
You're a coach now.
Yeah.
You got to be up and hip to the fundamentals.
Yeah, exactly. The Dodgers won this game last night 4-3. They have a 2-0 lead. So do the Brewers, who beat the Cubs 7-3 in Milwaukee. Those 7 runs coming off 3 homers. And again, Monday Night Football, a good one. The Jags win it 31-28 over the Chiefs on a Trevor Lawrence double, stumble, and then touchdown run in the final 30 seconds. His team is 4-1 for the first time since 2009. Guys, back to you.
Folks, thanks. We got an update for you also on the Mark Sanchez story. This one took a turn. We've got the deets next.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining.
Not careful, it'll raise the alarm. EJ sitting close, looking the big tents. He knows one wrong move could be at trying to keep warm. Where's Peter Bellotti? Not a soul knows. He's skipping work as the legend goes, leaving Manny in his back to take the stage, while Peter's off the grid, who knows what age. Oh, Manny, put that bat away. Someone's bound to get hurt today. Peter Bellotti's missing again. So much for counting on our old friends. Manny's in the zone, he's up at the plate. One wrong swing and you can see EJ's fate. The yellow bat's twirling, it's like a storm. EJ's leaning back, trying to keep warm. Where's Peter Bellotti? Not a soul knows. He's skipping work as the legend goes, leaving Manny in his back to take the stage, while Peter's off the grid, who knows what age. Oh, Manny, put that bat away. Someone's bound to get hurt today.
2 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
How dare you? I don't know if there's other parents in the audience who are listening to this, but that's the unmistakable sound of the K-pop Demon Hunters. People I didn't know existed until a couple weeks ago. This is in my head all day because this is the first thing my kid wants to listen to when he gets home from school.
They were brought into my lexicon on Saturday because they were in a Bad Bunny skit on Saturday Night Live. So I heard the song and I was like, "This is a nice little bop."
Just wait. This is the most catchy. It's almost like it was designed in a lab to just be an earworm in your brain. So I apologize.
Sorry, I feel like I thought it was a show.
It's a movie.
Right, it's a movie. So this is just the like cartoons sing the song?
No, it's actually real chicks, but they put them into cartoon version, I think.
Yeah, the real chicks, as Maggie said, they were in SNL and they did a little guest appearance as well. But yes, they were not animated figures on SNL.
Wait, so there are actual human being K-pop demon hunters?
Yeah, bro, there's demons everywhere, man. You got to watch your back. They fictionalize like the music group, like Josie and the Pussycats or something like that. I don't know what came first, the cartoon or the actual people. I don't know if they reverse engineered this. It was like
there's no way they know who Josie and the Pussycats are.
Probably not.
But no, I do. You kidding me? I love the old Hanna-Barbera cartoon.
Oh, nice.
Josie and the Pussycat. Something.
The hell?
Yeah. Oh man, Manny, I gotta get you up on this.
Okay, can I just clarify one thing?
Yeah.
They are actually not human beings who hunt demons and sing K-pop.
You don't know that. Anyway, I don't know.
This is a cartoon.
I didn't know if they reverse engineered it. Like the cartoon got so big, they're like, oh crap, we got to find 3 girls that look like these the cartoons and get them on SNL apparently. But that whole soundtrack, forget it. It's on repeat at my house. So how dare you, Manny? You might as well play like, I don't know,
Maggie
or
May?
something. No, what else?
Would you rather this or Maggie May?
Anything besides Maggie May. We've already gone over that. Me and Rod Stewart are sworn mortal enemies. Let's get to Mark Sanchez. So obviously no one had a worse weekend than Sanchez and the person he got into an altercation with over the weekend, Pearl, Friday night, early Saturday morning, late Friday night, where he gets into it with a grease truck driver who was trying to make switch out the oil behind a hotel in downtown Indianapolis. Escalates to the point where Sanchez gets stabbed multiple times. The driver claims they were, acting in self-defense, and Sanchez ends up in the hospital and then arrested. And it was a little interesting as the details are coming out that Sanchez was only charged with like a string of misdemeanors because we saw the victim. He had this huge slash on his face, a gash. He's in the hospital. And it just felt like it had escalated and boiled over to a point where maybe it was more than a misdemeanor.
Yeah.
So here is the prosecutor from Indianapolis explaining how the charges have now intensified.
We have added more serious charges against Mr. Sanchez. At this point in time, we have filed a felony charge, a level 5 felony of battery involving serious bodily injury, which contains a penalty of 1 to 6 years. One of the things that I want to stress to everybody is that we are still in the early stages of this investigation.
Okay, so
yeah, good luck with that. Stressing. Nobody cares what stage you're in. They're going to fly with every single fact we get at this point because we don't have all the facts.
Well, also, you laid that out after you said that you intensified and you brought even more serious charges against him. So clearly you found something that now raises to the level of what you think is a level 5 felony and jail time.
Yeah, I mean, I have to be honest, the way this story is unfolded, it does feel overly complicated. Like, why the police have tried to be clear with us, but nobody's able to explain anything here.
Well, I think I think the victim is explaining his side of the story, right? The guy who was the driver of the truck. He said Mark Sanchez came over, told him, you can't park here.
Yeah.
It's like, I have a job to do. They started maybe videotaping each other on phones, according to an eyewitness. Sanchez, at one point, lunges toward him. The guy sprayed him with mace. Then he stabbed him when Sanchez got back up and went towards him again. But we don't get Mark Sanchez's point of view because according to the reports I read yesterday, Sanchez says he doesn't remember anything. He has no recollection of any of this happening. So I guess they're going to rely on eyewitness footage and security camera footage.
Yeah. I had read Sanchez wouldn't talk, right? Did he tell the police? See, I said that he wouldn't cooperate with them at all.
Yeah, he's definitely retained a lawyer. I know that.
Yeah, I think he's gone on total silent mode.
Well, that's probably smart.
Yeah, get everything in order here. Now, it's interesting with the felony charges, 1 to 6 years. Can you imagine Mark Sanchez going to prison for this? That trial would be very interesting. I don't know how this works. I mean, EJ, you've done a lot of crime reporting. I'm not sure if a 1 to 6 year felony, if that really he'll end up serving time for that.
I mean, I'm just not used to famous rich people generally serving time. I don't know. I'm not trying to make a comment there on a celebrity, but I don't know. But here's one thing. The police chief was talking real tough here. Like, no one, I don't care who you are, you come into our city, you're not going to wreak havoc. I'm wondering if they're going to try to make an example out of Mark Sanchez and maybe throw the book at him a little bit.
Which could help Sanchez because then they'll get off course because of other things and screw up the trial.
Think about that. Legal analyst AmyDash is going to join us in the final hour of the show. to answer some more of our questions about Sanchez.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
It's first and goal with 30 seconds left. Now Lawrence goes down, has to get up. Breaks a tackle. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
That was Joe Buck and Troy Aikman last night on ESPN, and that was Trevor Lawrence stumbling, bubbling after he got stepped on by his own offensive lineman at the 1-yard line. Scores the touchdown, though. That's the go-ahead touchdown. Chiefs had about 22 seconds left, but could not get into field goal range, and your Jacksonville Jaguars come away with a 20... What was the score last night? 31-28. Thank you. And they get the win. Jags are now 4-1. The Chiefs fall to 2-3, Pearl. And I think this morning you and I are seeing this very, very differently. I'm seeing cracks here in the Chiefs veneer. I'm looking at 13 penalties last night, and I know it's better with Xavier Worthy on the field than not on the field, and they still have to get Rashee Rice back. But this is uncharacteristic mistakes last night from the Chiefs.
Well, I mean, my only concern is they're kind of a dink and dunk offense, so they're going to have a lot of plays that opens them up to a lot more penalties on offense. But I saw an offense that was moving the ball really, really well last night, which hadn't been the case. Even last year when they were 15-2, they didn't move the ball that well. They have a lot of weapons to choose from. Tyquan Thornton has emerged. Hollywood Brown played well. Xavier Worthy is very, very good as sort of an all-around weapon. Kelsey still has some juice. Kareem Hunt had a 40-yard run. There was a lot going on. I think the offense is going to be good, and I do trust that defense. They still have Chris Jones, who really didn't do enough last night, but I think they're going to be a really tough out in the second half of the season. I admit, their record's not good. That is a problem. 2-3, possibly going to 2-4 against Detroit, but then I do not want to see them late in the season. Even, I know they always lose that game at Buffalo in the regular season. Even that game, if they're desperate, they will play very good football.
Well, if the last two games are any indication, there will be 1,000 penalties when the Bills play the Chiefs, because the Bills had 11 called against them Sunday night, and the Chiefs had 13 called against them last night, including 4 on special teams, which really ended up being one of the big difference makers, especially late at the game. They had one big 60-yard run that got called back because of a hold, and then at the end of the game, there was a really nice run that got called back again on a chop block, they called it, I believe. Yeah. And the Chiefs would have only had to go 40 yards, I think, to get into field goal range, and instead it backed them up.
Yeah, I think that the officials are calling certain things tight early in the season. There are a lot of holding on run plays. I think they loosen the reins later in the season. I'm not so worried. I think the Chiefs, that's kind of, isn't that into the luck category? You know how turnovers are considered luck?
Yeah.
Eventually everything comes back to the middle. I don't think the Chiefs are going to be the most penalized team in the league.
So can I ask you something? You did a good job of laying out, obviously, all the weapons that Patrick Mahomes has at his disposal, right? And how this offense is looking better, even just by getting Xavier Worthy back, how much different it looks. But why is Mahomes doing so much? If this offense is really this well-oiled machine, why is he the leading rusher? Why do you have, confusion sometimes, it feels like, with the wide receivers? We were just talking about how it almost feels like Mahomes has to be even more Superman-ish than normal. If your offense is really clicking, it doesn't look like that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, they scored 28 points last night against one of the best defenses in the league coming in. What's wrong with that?
Well,
and by the way,
they got a gift of no pass interference call that should have been called on a Trevor Lawrence interception that set the Chiefs up in the red zone, and they scored 2 plays later. That should have never counted.
But they also gave away a pick six where Devin Lloyd just happened to drop back into coverage, and that is a very uncharacteristic mistake by Mahomes. Didn't see him because that play was a blown play on defense. So that was a great drive. They should have scored more points. They had 476 total yards, which is actually un-Chiefs-like. Their receivers were good as a whole last night. They were really good after the catch. Yeah, I just think that I dismiss them at your own peril. That is all I will say about this Chiefs team. Here's the thing. A running quarterback is going to be a problem for them. Josh Allen will probably be a problem in Buffalo, but that's every defense. So 2-4, if they lose to Detroit next week, I'm still not worried. Until they get their, let's say, 8th loss, I'm not counting them out of the Super Bowl. And neither should you, Maggie. You know better.
Well, I do know better. But and then on the Jags side of things, it's impressive, 4-1, the takeaways. Obviously, Trevor Lawrence comes up with the play of the game, but they had no timeouts left at that point. To me, Trevor Lawrence, I want him to be all the way there, but he still makes too many mistakes for me for someone who's supposed to be at the caliber that he's at. And let's think about how differently this could have gone if someone just puts two hands on him when he's down on the ground. Fell down, gets up, scores the touchdown, runs it in, and it becomes this great moment for the season. But with no timeouts, if he actually is down there, what happens? They're going to be scrambling to get the playoff. I don't even know how this game ends for them. Like, it seemed obviously like they got a little lucky that Lawrence was able to come up with that big play.
Well, there was, I think, 21 seconds left in the game. Sorry, I think there was 21 seconds left in the game when that happened. I'm not sure it would have been over.
No, it was 1st and goal, so it wasn't the downs that was the issue. It was going to be the clock, though. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, they could have spiked it. So it was 23 seconds left. There's time.
All right, but then what are you doing then? Because you can't.
Would
you run the ball again?
Yeah, I mean, you're at the 1 or 2 yard line?
Okay, but let's play this out. You're at the 1 yard line. Let's say you get stuffed by this Jacksonville defense. Then you have to pick bodies off the pile, and you're trying to get back. You have no timeouts.
Well,
they would have to throw the ball, I'm assuming.
Yeah, you throw the ball.
Yeah.
So you roll the quarterback right and throw the ball.
Okay, I'm just saying they got a little lucky yesterday with that final play. So as I'm saying that I think there are some cracks in the Chiefs' veneer, I also realized that the Jags had to come up with an all-time play to win that one last night.
I mean, listen, Devin Lloyd, let's pay attention. If you want to make your Defensive Player of the Year bet, Defensive Player of the Month. I was shocked when I heard that last night. I didn't even realize he's a turnover machine, and that return was crazy. The cut he put on Patrick Mahomes that was like a running back cut.
I know.
What a return. That was the play of the game by far. I think Trevor Lawrence, he made a throw in the final drive that not many quarterbacks can make.
Two great throws.
Yeah,
in the final
but there's
drive.
particularly one dart about 30 yards downfield. So the talent is there and the legs are there. He still can run. I kind of like Trevor Lawrence, and I really like Liam Cohen. I think the team is a reflection of him in the sense that it's a mess, but it works. Like Liam is he's incredibly emotional. You never knew that when he was the offensive coordinator with the Rams or at Kentucky. Like Liam Cohen did not seem like kind of a hothead, but he is an emotional guy, and I think that emotion is good for a team like the Jags. Like, kind of wakes them up after the stupor they've been in.
Yeah, and obviously he got into it with Robert Saleh a couple weeks ago when he said, keep my name out your mouth. Was that last week, actually?
Yeah.
And Saleh, I believe, said, I'll end your life. I mean, got a little heated there.
Saleh would probably kill Liam Cohen.
Come on.
But Liam Cohen, by the way, looks like a nerd. I will look at highlights of him as a college quarterback. Guy could ball.
Well, he was thrown to Victor Cruz, so that really helps at UMass.
Hey, all right, go Minutemen.
So we're asking you today, are you seeing cracks in the Chiefs' veneer? They're 2-3 now. They're going to have to go on the road in the playoffs. Listen, they've done that before. I get it. But there are just uncharacteristic things that they are doing, to me, where they always were the team that, even with 22 seconds left, you would be so convinced that Patrick Mahomes is going to somehow get them in field goal range and that Harrison Butker would somehow hit that field goal. Like, these are the things we're used to with the Chiefs, that things always seem to go their way. Last night, that was not the case. 888-710-4ISN. Can we quickly talk about the Ravens, Pearl?
What about them?
Well, I'm curious your thoughts on whether or not they are fully dead in the water.
Yes.
Okay, well, I don't know if that's necessarily the case. And it's hard to make a case for the Ravens. It looks as bad as possible. Never thought the Ravens would be get-right games for other people.
Yeah.
But with Lamar Jackson is not going to be out for the season, okay?
Right.
He's got a hamstring issue, but it doesn't mean that he's going to be gone forever. They have some major injuries, no doubt, but they also are going to be getting, not Matabike, but could be getting healthier. This is a team that had a terrible defense to start the year last year and got better as the season went along. The schedule eventually lightens up. And the AFC North is no great shakes. Bengals seem out of it. They're now looking for a new quarterback to replace Jake Browning, reportedly. The Browns have this all-time defense. It's going to be wasted because they can't get their act together on the offensive side of the
Browns
ball.
are bad, right?
And the Steelers, to me, are beatable.
Steelers are going to be 10-7, at least.
Okay, but are the
Because
Steelers
the
great team? No,
Who cares?
not.
I mean, the universe says, Mike Tomlin, you shall be 10-7, so that's a given. So you have to be 10 wins.
I'm just saying, I think that we have not heard the last of the Ravens. Whether they actually make the playoffs, I don't know. But my prediction would be they actually make things interesting here.
So they're on track for the worst defense. I think I said this yesterday, and I haven't really been able to confirm it, the worst defense of all time, but it's got to be because they've let up close to 40 points a game. If they're not going to fire their defensive coordinator, this is not going to improve. He's not good. He's just not good.
Do you think it's him or the personnel?
It's him.
I don't know, because, again, last year they ended up finishing the season as a really good defense.
Did you see? Yeah, partly because the competition weakened.
Well,
Did
that's going to
Buffalo
happen
have
again.
any trouble in the first half against that defense in the playoff game? No, not at all. Not even a little bit. And now that defense is all beat up. And their best player, Kyle Hamilton, can't stay on the field for a string of plays. I'm out on the Ravens. I like your argument. When Lamar gets back, obviously he'll win a bunch of games. But how can a team with a defense that bad be good?
Well, again, they've got to figure something out, which is what John Harbaugh said. They're going to go back to the drawing board. But you look at the losses. They lost to the Bills. That one was unforgivable. I mean,
that they should have won that game.
Of course, you should have won that game. And that was the last time, to be fair, Derrick Henry looked like himself. But you lose to the Bills, the Lions, the Chiefs, and the Texans. These are all teams that are making the playoffs.
Texans?
I think. I think the Texans are about to go on a run, but let's not get sidetracked by that. These are at least 4 teams that made the playoffs last year. You want to do it that way, right? So you have a tough slate here. The Chiefs have a tough slate. They're 2-3. It's not that far off from the Ravens. It looks a little different. I'll grant you that. But to me, I'm not saying that I'm 100% sure that they're going to make the playoffs. I just don't think we've heard the last from them yet.
Yeah, I feel like there's going to be a point where they shut down Lamar.
Oof.
Depending on what happens here. Yeah, I mean, this schedule's not easy. I think if they lose to the Rams this week, I don't know how they're going to win this game. They don't know it's going to be Huntley or is it going to be Cooper Rush. If they can beat the Rams this week, then you're dead up. But 1-5, I remember last year with the Bengals, we had to do some of these probabilities.
Yep.
It's very, very hard to make the playoffs at 1-5.
It is, obviously, but Ravens actually have the 8th easiest schedule according to ESPN. They just had a really tough gauntlet of games at the beginning of the season. And 5 of the remaining 12 are against AFC North opponents, which we just went through. Not great shakes. The rest of, Browns, Bengals, they're 3-7 combined. Yeah. So I think you count them out at your own peril if Lamar Jackson is actually going to get back on the field. Yeah, if it's Cooper Rush and, a ragtag team of backup quarterbacks, then no way. But Lamar getting back on the field, I think that this is going to be one of those oopsie-doops. Like, write them off at your own, as I said, at your own peril. Do I sound crazy, EJ?
No, I don't think so. I just feel like with the Ravens, the AFC is so mid that I think it's going to keep them alive. I think it's just a reality that I think you're going to get into the playoffs probably with 9 wins. So the question is, can they simply get to 9 wins? The defense is rough, but I think Lamar Jackson does come back, and the offense, when he's been out there, has been good. I know they've had some fumbling issues. I know Derrick has been inconsistent, but you would think that if Lamar is in there, that improves Derrick Henry's output.
Yep.
If they get back to being a high-octane offense, the schedule lightens up a little bit, you'll see the Ravens get to 9 wins. Now they're in the playoffs. And at that point, anything can happen. And I don't think anybody wants to see the Ravens in a wild card round.
I'm not sure 9 wins will get you in because this conference is so top-heavy. The bottom is pretty bad. I feel like I think you're going to need 10. And again, 1-5, get the research team on this. It's only happened a couple times in NFL history. Maybe you guys make a great case, but you're forgetting the defense stinks. It is terrible. Even the first game when they were basically healthy-ish, they were awful against Buffalo. Awful. They let up 40 points.
No, they are bad. They've also been facing some of the best quarterbacks and offenses in the league, except for the Browns, who they beat, and the Texans.
Houston was bottom 3 in overall offense.
Totally,
bottom 3.
But Lamar wasn't playing in that game. So
but you're saying they're facing the best offenses. They let up 44 points to a Houston team that I don't think it scored 44 points the entire season.
I'm just saying, Bills, Lions, Chiefs. These are some really great quarterbacks and good teams. I don't know if that's the right litmus test here for the Ravens.
I hear what you're saying. I mean, obviously, this all depends on can you tell us when Lamar is getting back. I think unless he does some miracle, gets on the field against the Rams, then they have a bye. Then he'll be back. Will he be 100%? So I feel like, isn't that part of this equation? Like, what Lamar are you getting?
No doubt. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Although we might be looking at some real new blood here in the playoffs.
That's the thing I'm thinking about, too, is this is going to be kind of a changing of the guard a little bit because you see the Chiefs 2-3, you see the Ravens really struggling. Bills are top of the AFC East and 4-1, but New England's got a winning record. Jacksonville, as we've talked about this morning, 4-1. Colts 4-1. Maybe some of these teams we talked about for years, Bengals, Ravens, Chiefs, they may still be good teams, but maybe they're just not far and away so much better than everyone else in the conference.
Well, I like the Jags, the Colts, the Patriots, because they'll all be sitting the same place I am on the couch watching the Chiefs and the Bills in the AFC title game, and they can get a great view of that because nothing has changed in the AFC. The Bills are gifted via the AFC East a home playoff run. Okay. It's going to be Buffalo and probably Kansas City, but it's definitely going to be Buffalo.
You can say that, and you can think you know how this is going to go. And
because
I think
it's gone that way for 5 years.
We thought that the Lions were going to be back in the NFC Championship game last year, did we not? We did not see the Commanders coming last year.
Well, yeah, but then the Lions lost 7 players to injury.
Okay, and there's still a lot of season left. So to me, there's some teams also that have just different goals. Like if you're the New England Patriots, your goal is not AFC Championship game. Your goal is make the playoffs with Drake May. Get him a taste. Right.
But somebody,
then you never know.
But I think what EJ is saying is like we might have a new blood at the high level of the playoffs. Like you're not just saying there's going to be new wild card teams, because who cares if it's the Chargers or the Jags? Like none of them.
Because you get in and you never know what can happen.
But you do, because it's been the Bills, Ravens, and Chiefs. You know exactly what's going to happen.
But I think if some of those teams are talking about the Ravens had to play 3 games, the Chiefs had to play 3 games, like I do think there's a better chance, obviously, they don't get there. Just having to play more games. Like these teams have been gifted easy wild card games or home games or division games or just buys, right? So if they have to go through more teams, that just creates more chaos potentially. So I think it opens up the opportunity for something new to happen.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Are we seeing cracks in the Chiefs veneer? Do you think the Ravens are dead in the water? And could there be a surprise contender in the AFC? All that for you. We have college football to get to and a shocking turn of events on the college side of things. I was stunned by this. We'll get to that in just a moment. It's Maggie and Perloff Show.
Maggie, you know what is so exciting tonight?
What's that?
It is the start of the NHL season, and you know why I know that? Because I was on PrizePicks this morning, first thing I do, and I got a little Sergei Bobrovsky, a little Nathan McKinnon on PrizePicks. I could pick more or less for Nathan McKinnon, 3.5 shots on goal. I'm going more. I am so excited. There's so many different sports on PrizePicks. Being right can get you paid. Keep the season rolling by getting $50 in bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. So simple to use. Just pick 2 or more players across any sport. Tonight you have baseball, you have hockey, you have soccer. It's awesome, and you can win big.
You know, you got to know your strengths and weaknesses in life. It's good to self-evaluate. I am absolutely awful at live betting. So this is why PrizePicks is better for me. I look at what I think is going to happen before the games start, Pearl, and then I pick more or less on my projections whether I'm going to have Cal Raleigh more than 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. And I like that with Nathan McKinnon, more than 3.5 shots on goal. This is why I like PrizePicks.
There's this guy on PrizePicks who's missing a tooth, Drew Doughty. You got to bet. You got to get into that, man.
I do like that. Yeah, hockey's in full effect right now. Just another thing to make PrizePicks even better. All you got to do is download the PrizePicks app today. Use the code MNP. Get $50 in bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. That's code MNP on PrizePicks. Get $50 in bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. So win or lose, you'll get $50 bonus credit in lineups just for playing. It's guaranteed. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Mand P.
You're in a 4-minute break. 3 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining.
Woke up to a miracle sight. We beat the Los Phillies for the first damn night. Said it couldn't happen, no way, no how. But we proved them wrong, look at us now. Oh, glorious spot, 4 years in the stream. Through the chaos and laughter, the wildest dream. You've seen Miraz stumble, you've seen Miraz fall. Droopy man boobs and chicken wings, he's done it all. He's got a shrine to add half away. Photos lined up like a Manny's desk is a sir. Andrew Perloff loves his turtle, call it chill shot bliss. He feeds it kale and lettuce, then gives it a little kiss. Andrew Bogusch's turtles got a mansion in the tank with a slide, a tiny hammock, and a treasure chest bank. Two-tone Tony rolls in, his turtles got swag. Cruising slow but steady, repping that reptile flag. Meanwhile, Kevin LaMelle's got tacos on his plate. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, he's got no time to wait. Turtle love, taco dreams, Andrew and Andrew living supreme. Two-ton Tony, slow and steady crew. Kevin's got breakfast tacos, what's Peter gonna do? Yo, Perloff's turtles chillin', basking in the heat. Bogusch's turtles flexing, got gold chains on its feet. Tony's turtles on TikTok, racking up views, while Kevin's tacos sizzle, serving up the news. But Belotti's MIA, not a damn thing new. Work? Nah, he'd rather just hit snooze. We're out here hustling, making turtles the stars, and Pete's just ghosting like he's hanging on Mars. Turtle love, taco dreams, Andrew and Andrew living supreme. Two-ton Tony, slow and steady crew. Kevin's got breakfast tacos, what's Peter gonna do? Yo, Perloff's to the spotlight, tacos taking the stage, while Belotti's excuses keep showing his age. Perloff's turtles named LeBron, Bogusch calls his taco just for the show. Tony's turtles trending, breaking the mold. Kevin's got a taco so spicy it's gold. And Pete, yeah, fuck that guy, still a no-show. The legend of Belotti always laying low. Turtle love, taco dreams, Andrew and Andrew living supreme.
It's just like, oh, put on your to-do list, make fun of Bill Belichick. So what's the latest?
All right, two things. So there was a little, Bogusch actually brought us this story yesterday, and then we got an update on it after the show was over. So we owe it to the audience, Pearl, to just bring this back. And it's kind of hilarious. So the Tar Heels, and there was apparently a directive not to tweet or put anything on social media positive about the New England Patriots from the Tar Heels official accounts. You'll recall there was a story earlier this fall about no Patriots scouts were allowed to come to the Tar Heel practices, although I think that was kind of debunked. So yesterday, everyone's basking in the glory of Drake May's big win over the Bills in Buffalo on Sunday night, and you got Bubkiss from the UNC official handles which had all been tweeting out positive things about other alums who are doing well in the NFL, like a Javonte Williams touchdown run, got a tweet. Drake May goes in, beats the number 1 team in the AFC, and crickets.
Yeah, because it's North Carolina football, so there's not a lot of positive to tweet about in the NFL. Sorry, Mitchell Trubisky. Yeah, pretty obvious. The anti-Patriots thing.
An anti-Patriots
thing. It feels
thing.
like Jordan Hudson's fingerprints are all over this move.
Doesn't it? But then after the show, lo and behold, after we called it out and other people in the media called it out, and Bogusch brought us that story, all of a sudden, poof, here comes a Drake May highlight. So it turns out that somebody in North Carolina was like, this is not worth it. We've got to celebrate Drake May. He's one of the best things we can hold up for recruiting, even though it's not Mac Brown anymore, but you still want a top quarterback being associated with your college.
Yeah. And also, you're connected to the basketball team because his brother was, Luke May, was a great basketball player in North Carolina. Like that, the May family is royalty. Not
No
Javonte
doubt.
Williams.
No doubt. Well, maybe he's like I don't know, Prince or something. But so that's not the only thing. If you guys saw this also on game day, Nick Saban, famously best friends with Belichick for years and years, coached together in Cleveland. And now they get together like once a year in some hotel in upstate New York to watch film together. Remember Jenny Vrentas had that story?
That's romantic.
Actually, Monty Burke had that story originally.
Pardon me, Monty Burke had that story.
They used to sneak away in the 90s and go to concerts together. Can you picture being at a concert with Nick Saban and Bill Belichick?
Did they ever say what concerts it was? Like
I've got to assume
Springsteen?
it was like Thrasher. Actually, I'll text Monty right now.
Yeah, that's cool.
But they also got together and watched film. But yeah, so now there's cracks in the facade of that relationship?
Well, just Nick Saban was talking about Mac Jones, who had come up with the big win on Thursday Night Football of 49ers over the Rams. And he said, this was the quote, I think Mac was one of those guys who was in bad situations in New England relative to coaching and all that stuff. And who was the offensive coordinator? And how did he get developed when he came into the league? And you'll recall, this is when Belichick famously zagged in a big way and made Matt Patricia and Joe Judge like co-offensive coordinators in New England. Matt Patricia, who is clearly a defensive guy, and Joe Judge was a special team / failed head coach. And Matt Patricia was also a failed head coach, by the way. I should mention that with Detroit. So it was like Saban kind of calling out Belichick because Belichick is clearly the one who made that decision. So
yeah, no.
Everyone's piling on Bill.
It's funny because I love Mac Jones. Now Mac Jones is in again. That's so funny because everybody did not like that guy, especially after Jacksonville, because he had an opportunity to play there and didn't do well. I don't know about this Belichick thing. The question is, like, a lot of people tweet like he's ruined his legacy in New England. I think people forget what time can do. In 10 years, we're not going to remember this North Carolina experiment because nobody really talks about Bill Walsh's final years at Stanford. Is that even part of the narrative?
No, that's fine. But where I think it differs is that, New England is where his legacy really grew. I know he won 2 Super Bowls as a defensive coordinator for the New York Giants, but where his legacy obviously was cemented was with New England.
Obviously, yeah.
And it looks like the relationship couldn't be worse between him and the Kraft family. And it's not just Robert Kraft, who's in his 80s and is in his 80s. Stephen, what's his name? Jonathan Kraft also seems like there's a blood feud going on there. So the next generation also is not fond of Bill.
But are you sure in 10 years that they're not going to get over that? I mean, listen, the Packers and Favre were fighting, and then they brought him back in. I think Jimmy Johnson eventually got into the circle of trust. Took a long time.
It took like 20 years.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I mean. But like Jerry and Jimmy hated each other. Once you get old, I think that things can change. I think that legacy-wise, we're caught up in this North Carolina thing, and I could be dead wrong about this. I just do not think this whole Jordan Hudson North Carolina experiment is going to stick to him ultimately. For one reason, nobody ever had any expectations for North Carolina football before Belichick got there. It's not like he took over Alabama. And second of all, it's kind of like mid-level ACC football. I just don't think everyone's watching it this closely. It's embarrassing. But even that Clemson game, that coming into the season was supposed to be a big deal. What do you think? 1.3 million people watched that game? Like, that wasn't even a thing.
Yeah, well, because it wasn't even competitive.
Well, even before that, nobody previewed that game. That wasn't on the list of games to watch. Nobody even noticed that they were playing.
Yeah, I mean, that's also Clemson's fault, too, because they've been disappointing this season.
Yeah, well,
also.
true.
But, the funny thing about, like, you're talking about Bill Walsh finished at Stanford, Vince Lombardi finished, and these coaches who finished at these different places. Well, it wasn't 2025 back then, that we know so much now. I watched an episode of a Pablo Torre podcast where I was looking at the Airbnb that Bill Belichick and Jordan Hudson were allegedly like canoodling in. That didn't happen in Bill Walsh's era. I know nothing about Bill Walsh except for that clip, that awesome clip we played of him with the 84 Niners talking about a football game is like making love. You never know what's going to happen. I don't know. It's just we know a lot more now. So I think these things have a tendency to stick a little because of the details that can be embarrassing.
I also feel like those other examples were not the sideshow that this has become. Like, whatever happened with Bill Walsh at Stanford, like, I was too young to know, but, like, it doesn't seem like there was anything scandalous or anything weird coming out of it. I mean,
definitely not.
Yeah, I mean, or Vince Lombardi, Washington, like, we don't know. Like, it was just
we
like,
just don't know.
They were like, okay, and then moved on. Like, with Bill Belichick, like, this guy's on the cover of Us Weekly. He's like a page 6 staple. Like, this is a different audience he's now attracted with this Jordan Hudson situation. So I do feel like, I don't want to say it ruins his legacy. I know I hate to do the middleman game, but I do think that this is a part of it now. I think people are going to be like, wow, remember how he ended his career with that young girl and they were losing all those games? Wow, that was weird.
No, to me, this is as Dan Patrick always used to say, build them up, tear them down cycle. Like, people love to build up people, then tear them down, but eventually they forget. Like, Bobby Petrino's back at Arkansas. Rick Pitino got back into college basketball.
But we didn't forget about any of that stuff.
Yes,
like,
but
we still
ultimately,
talk about it with Petrino, with the neck brace. I mean,
but his legacy in 15 years, like Brett Favre ripped off welfare system, and like I'm telling you, Brett Favre is going to be remembered as a hero. And right now, you might be in it, but eventually, I mean, the fact that, like, did you see the way Pitino was treated last year? I mean, that's unbelievable. I just think that he came back and won, but eventually I think people forget all these little scandals. Nobody's going to remember a Pablo Torre podcast in 15 years. Like, and also the number of people who have access to that might not be what you think.
Okay, but the other part of it is Belichick's football legacy has also been called into question by football fans because of how badly, like, it doesn't have to be about the tabloid stuff. It also could just be the record. The record after Tom Brady is abysmal. And Tom went to Tampa, recognized the sleeping giant, and took them to the Super Bowl and won it in his first year. And so I think
But Tom Landry and Don Shula were awful at the end of their careers too. Does that stick to them?
I'm just saying the Brady part of it, right? If Dan Marino had left Don Shula and went and won a, Super Bowl after all those years and won a Super Bowl with the Vikings or something, then maybe we would have. I don't know.
The winningest coach of all time. I think people forget the end. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I think time will prove me right. I think Belichick's legacy will not be as tarnished as it feels like right now. Right now, he's in a valley. Again, Landry was terrible at the end of his career. Nobody talks about that or remembers
until
that.
we got a documentary about it. Jerry Jones.
But were people actively rooting against Landry as they are with Belichick? Because that's the thing. Like, there are people who are enjoying this. It's not like sad John Unitas playing on a third different team. Like, this is a guy who has detractors, who has enemies, who people who are like actually having fun while this is going down in flames.
But you think in 15 years, if you're doing, I'd say the year 2040, when your son Jake has a national talk radio show, is he going to keep Belichick off the Mount Rushmore of coaches because of what happened in North Carolina? See, I don't know. I think that time will heal a lot of this. That's how I feel like that with any scandal. Like, scandals feel so intense in the moment, and everyone gets into them, and then they just fade.
So, but I don't think people are going to forget this as easily as I think is what you're saying. Like, I don't think this is ever going to be detached from him. It's not going to change.
It'll always be a punchline,
right?
I don't think so. I really don't think so. I don't think he'll always be a punchline.
Hard to do a show bet on this one because it's like till the end of time.
Do you think Bill Belichick will always be a punchline? You realize that sentence feels pretty strong.
He won't always be a punchline, but this will.
You just said that.
That this will be here, right? Like, if you want to, like the roast of Tom Brady when they're talking about Bill Belichick or whatever, you're always going to have that fodder for him. Just like you're always have it with Tiger Woods, or you're always have it. And Tiger's scandal was way bigger than this. But it will always be there, even though you also have him on a Mount Rushmore somewhere.
Yeah, but like right now, I don't feel like most people would put him on a Mount Rushmore. I feel like people are skewing negative on Belichick. But we'll see. Yeah. We're going to all get together in the year 2050 and discuss Bill Belichick and Jordan Hudson.
We'll teleport into Jake's radio show.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
We'll use our Google glasses to think something and call into the show.
Jordan Hudson will be the ripe age of 32 years old by then.
She'll finally be able to rent that car. Let's get to Bogusch. What's up?
I got your headline sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Your small business keeps you on the go. Progressive Commercial Insurance keeps your policy within reach with our easy-to-use mobile app. Learn more at progressivecommercial.com.
Duval.
Before we get to Duval, let's get to the Knickerbockers. This is for Manny and EJ. There's a brand new long story at ESPN.com right now about Giannis's present situation and future situation with the Milwaukee Bucks. And it's very much undecided still. That's the gist of this situation, that Giannis could ask out definitively at some point this year if things don't go well. But the story includes the fact that over the summer, he did officially kind of say, let's think about other options, and settled on the Knicks being the only team that he would have gone to. Let's go, Knicks! And in August, there was a time frame where the Knicks and the Bucks talked about a trade, but never got any traction on said trade. So I'm wondering how Knicks fans feel about finding out that for a minute or two, there was official Giannis flirtation.
It's the New York Knicks, damn it.
I mean, it's not surprising once you learn that the Bucks talk to anybody about a Giannis trade, right? Because their disposition has been they don't want to trade him. What's interesting is apparently the Bucks just felt like the Knicks offer was not even close, which if you're in Knicks world, you wonder, well, all those picks that went for Mikal Bridges, is that why you can't make this trade? Is it because you don't have the draft capital and there's no players that the Bucks want in return for Giannis? So did it cost the Knicks Giannis in this particular situation? Now, I would argue if Giannis puts his thumb on the scale a little more, the Bucks may not have a choice but to take what the Knicks want.
I don't know. Listen, if I'm the Milwaukee Bucks, I think I would take Tyler Kolek, Kevin McCullough Jr. in a second-round pick in 2030.
All right, first time, long time caller to WFAN with that trade. But here's my one thing. Can I take this from the Milwaukee side of things?
Sure.
No.
And I think that the Bucks fans are got to be used to this at this point. But come on, Giannis, how many off seasons are we going to do this exact same song and dance? It's getting really annoying to me. This passive aggressive. Well, if the team doesn't show that they want to win, I'm going to be out of here. It's like, well then they're doing things that, ultimately end up hurting the franchise. Like they trade for Damian Lillard and then he gets hurt and then they got to get rid of him. And, they're trying to do all this thing to appease one person because he's hanging the anvil over their heads. I know we're used to this in NBA world. But
yeah, I mean, it's better than KD. But Giannis has actually played for 12 years in the NBA season. I feel like he needs a little more seasoning and just be right on the verge of being washed up before he gets traded to the Knicks. Because that would be completely on brand.
Well, it's
so I give it 2 more
years.
And it's funny. He's 12 years in, but he's only 30.
Yeah, because he came into the league super young. And remember, he came in as a project. Giannis didn't emerge as Giannis until what? 4 years in? Just like Jokic?
Let's really talk, because he's not a shooter. So is he going to be as effective in his 30s as he was in his 20s? Karl Malone developed
better, though, to be fair to Giannis. He's added things to his game.
He shot 22% from 3 last year.
He's not a three-point shooter. He can shoot from the mid-range. He's just not a three-point shooter.
But
he got better at free throws, which was a terrible Achilles heel for him.
But is he going to – so you guys are in the Giannis is going to age well category? Because I am not.
I don't – I don't think that because he can't shoot the 3 ball, he can't age well. Because, again, he is a good mid-range shooter. And my question is he going to be able to get to the rim as the way he does? He's so
exactly.
Big,
that's the question.
Well, you're talking about three-pointers. I'm
just saying,
what you're talking about.
I'm saying he's a very physical player. Is that going to decline?
It could. I think that's a fair – no, I think that's a fair question. I just don't worry about the 3 ball as much as I worry about the physical tool. That's all I'm saying.
Well, right. But Charles Barkley, for better or worse, when his physical skills started declining, he started shooting all these threes. Karl Malone developed a mid-range shot. Which
is what Giannis has right now.
But not like Karl Malone's. Karl Malone turned out he really refined his shot.
I think if you look at Giannis's mid-range numbers, they're pretty elite.
But here's the thing.
Gavison with that dirty-ass water.
This is what underscores that there's actually an urgency here, right? If you want to maximize and actually get Giannis still in his late prime.
Snitches get stitches.
Then you got to do this now. That's interesting. Anything else, folks?
Monday Night Football. This is the longest pick six by a linebacker in regular season history.
Dropping his Mahomes. Fires middle of the field. Ball's intercepted. The ball is picked off. Are you kidding me? Devin Lloyd bringing it back again. Along the left sideline. 50, 45, 30, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown. Devin Lloyd with the length of the field.
90,
Was it a touchdown?
9 yards for Devin Lloyd.
How
Devin Lloyd.
How about Liam Cohen's potty mouth post-game?
Duval.
The 99-yard pick six, the last of 21 straight Jaguar points, erasing a 14-0 Chiefs lead last night. KC was back in front in the fourth, 28-24, but that's when Trevor Lawrence fell down twice and then scored the winning points on a 1-yard run with 23 seconds left. His Jaguars are 4-1 for the first time since 2009, thanks to this 31-28 final. Patrick Mahomes' team is 2-3.
We'll continue to get better and better. I thought we did a lot of great things in the game today. We moved the ball. We were able to score in the red zone and do what we wanted to do there. It's just we hurt ourselves with penalties. And so I think as we continue to clean that stuff up, we'll continue to put more and more points on the board. And we have another great challenge this next week.
Mahomes producing 378 yards of offense last night, threw for a score, ran for another, but there was that pick six, and he mentioned penalties, 13 of them totaling 109 yards. Baseball last night, the Brewers beat the Cubs 7-3. The Dodgers held off the Phillies 4-3, so LA and Milwaukee have 2-0 series lead. The Blue Jays have their first chance to close out the Yankees 8 Eastern in the Bronx tonight after the Tigers and Mariners break their 1-1 tie in Detroit.
What time is that one?
It's a little after 4 o'clock.
Eastern. Cool. Thank you.
By the way, Giannis last year, 44% from mid-range, ranked him 5th in both attempts and makes. DeRozan, Durant, Booker, and Shea, the only guys ahead of him.
By the way, Devin Lloyd, talk about a defensive player of the month in the AFC. They didn't give him his 5th-year option on his rookie deal. Like, this is the most out of nowhere crazy defensive player of the year season you would ever expect. Like, who is Devin? I know he's a first round pick, but who is Devin Lloyd coming to this? He's going to be like a factor. Like Jacksonville's, you talked about their defense.
The takeaway,
He's
he
going to
already
be a
has 4
story of the year.
interceptions. 4 interceptions on the season is pretty amazing.
And he's a linebacker, and he also has a million pressures. Like, he is all over the field.
And in a contract year.
Well, I mean, he shouldn't be. The Jags said, like, you're not good enough to even give your 5th-year option to.
Duval.
Well, I'm just saying, maybe it was the Jags' fault, or maybe he's got a fire lit under him because they didn't pick up the option.
Well, yeah, but it's definitely the Jags' fault. Everybody gets their option picked up. It was very strange, especially a linebacker. I don't think that would be. I don't know. It's kind of funny. Like, I don't think he was that good until this year. Have we ever talked about Devin Lloyd on the show?
Yeah, that's why when they didn't pick up the option, I don't think it even crossed the wire.
No, I do remember him in a lot of big games at Utah.
That is true.
That was our team. I'm disappointed Utah is not back to elite.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. Folks, thanks so much for all of that. Coming up, man, I hope this does not become a trend in college football. Get to that next. MNP.
You're in a 5-minute break.
Taco, just for the show. Oh, Shep had a vision. He thought he was grand, thought LeBron would pick up, thought he'd make a stand. But the Lakers saw his email and let out a sigh. Is this guy for real? He must be high. Did you think you'd book the king on your weekend overnight thing? Bro, he's got rings, a yacht and a jet. You've got 3 insomniacs and 1 drug med fan named Chet. Chef, are you serious? Did you hit your head? This ass looks worse than a Knicks fan's dread. Maggie and Perloff can't stop their laughs. Rich Eisen staff make memes in your behalf. Zach Geld nearly dropped his mic. Reader said, man, this can't be life. Even Bogusch, who never reacts, just send a text, Chiefs on crack. LeBron's got meetings, not billion-dollar deals. You're begging for airtime with 5 on the needle deal. Chef, how did this idea take flight? LeBron doesn't know you, he barely knows midnight. This is getting set there, and you're in dollar deals. You're begging for airtime with 5 on the needle deal. Chef, how did this idea take flight? LeBron doesn't know you, he barely knows midnight. You got rejected and you're feeling slighted. Dude, the Lakers PR team was so excited. They took screenshots, they sent it all around. You guys won't believe this insane clown. Chef, are you serious? Did you hit your head? This ask was worse than a Knicks fan's dread. Maggie and Pearl all can't stop their laughs. Rich eyes and staff made memes in your behalf. LeBron's not calling, not today, not tomorrow, not ever.
Oh, no time. It's like Joe.
Maggie's rolling down the highway, feeling kinda rough. Last night's dinner, fighting back, oh man, it's getting tough. She grips her wheel, but it's too late, oh no, here it comes. Her Yeti Angels holding water, now it's holding chunks. Oh,
1 minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
This is in my head all day because this is the first thing my kid wants to listen to when he gets home from school.
They were brought into my lexicon on Saturday because they were in a Bad Bunny skit on Saturday Night Live.
Sounds like the work of a demon. If only there were 3 gorgeous Korean girls who could protect you. Idiot.
It's Maggie and Perloff.
What else is gonna save you from demons, you idiot?
On the Infinity Sports Network.
There's got to be other parents who are feeling my pain on this one. But Pearl, if I were to ask you, this is a new song in a kid's movie on Netflix that just gets so stuck in your head. What do you think is the song that's the catchiest? Like, is there a song that gets stuck in your head more than any?
Oh, my God. Oh, everything gets stuck in my head. My daughter plays show tunes. They all get stuck in my head. She's a big Broadway person. Don't ask. You know what song she was singing the other day? Mamma Mia.
Oh, God, don't do it.
So ABBA, back at the school. Yeah, she's a big show tune. There's a play, Mamma Mia. And she was walking around the house singing Mamma Mia. Then the whole house is singing ABBA.
I like K-pop demon hunters.
But, as far as pop songs.
Baby Shark.
Oh, Baby Shark. That the Office famously made fun of the Cardigans. Love me, that song. Oh, and Jim Halpern was always singing it under his breath so that it would get stuck in people's heads.
There's a band, by the way, on Saturday Night Live this week called Role Model, has a song called Sally. It is the most stuck in your head song of all time. It's like an indie rock song. Once you hear it once, you will be singing it all the time.
It's so annoying. And the only way to get it out of your head is I think you just got to listen to the song.
Yeah,
There's no way to
I overplay
exercise
it. You're
this.
saying get it out of your system?
I think so.
My daughter has a funny thing, too, about songs, too. She gets really frustrated. If she loves a song, she's like, Dad, I can't listen to it because I'm going to overplay it in my head and not want to hear it anymore. Do you guys have that where you have a song that you just listen to 100 times in a row and then you never want to hear it again? That's my pattern, too.
It happens to me more with food.
Yeah, food, too. I happens to be,
If I binge out on something, like
You idiot.
I'm on an egg salad kick right now, and that is going to go.
Yikes. No.
Wegmans egg salad.
Stupid man.
Delicious.
I do this with when I eat my kids' snacks. So like I'll eat all of his peanut butter crackers or something like that, and then I can't eat them again.
Gosh, I thought you would relate to that, burning out on songs.
No, I don't generally do that, but I've noticed
Burned out on Maggie May real quick.
Well, that's been a long
burn.
Whatever the opposite of a love affair is.
A hate affair.
Sure. I noticed that your daughter does this with something else also. Like
What's that?
You said your daughter preemptively does not want to overplay songs because she doesn't want to burn them out. Your daughter, didn't she say she didn't want to get a pet? Because she's worried about when the pet eventually
She won't get a dog.
crosses the rainbow bridge that she'll be so sad?
Yeah, she can't. She's probably emotionally unstable, but she can't handle the thought of the dog dying.
And that's why you guys have a tortoise.
So we have a tortoise
will
who'll
never
live to
die.
100. Yeah, I'll put in my will who gets a tortoise. You want a tortoise, Manny?
Not particularly, no.
Too bad.
I hate to say it. I understand Emma's logic. Dogs, have you ever been around somebody who lost their dog? I mean, Kirk Herbstreit's on TV talking about it more than football.
Not only have I been around it, it's happened to me. I had a dog growing up and we lost it, but I have all the great memories of our dog. So the good memories outweigh the bad.
We should do an experiment where we have to watch me watching the end of that Owen Wilson movie with the dog. What's that called?
Marley and Me?
Marley and Me.
Oh, no, thank you.
When the dog dies at the end of Marley and Me, if you don't cry, you are some sort of demon that needs to be hunted by a K-pop star.
By a K-pop star.
Wait,
I like K-pop demon hunters.
So I do get this. Like, I think that is one tricky thing about dogs. Is they only live to 10 to 15 years. It's really hard.
Okay, but when you think back on your dog, you think back sometimes, do you immediately go to the end? It's like, don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened.
Well,
Enjoy the journey.
We're actually grateful because the other thing about it, your kids say, get this pet, and then they don't do anything to help take care of them.
Yep. And it just adds another thing on top of the list of things to do. Quickly, this one annoyed me. It's the fact that Auburn is going to move one of their home games in 2026 to Atlanta. So from Jordan-Hare Stadium, where it'd be a home game, to Atlanta. And the reason they're giving Pearl is because they want more NIL opportunities for their players. And I'm all for the players making all the NIL opportunities possible, but in some ways, it kind of feels like another crack in the foundation of college football, which is having awesome home games. No disrespect to Atlanta, it's only an hour and 45 minutes basically from Auburn, but that stadium doesn't give you the same feel as being with 85,000 rabid Auburn fans at Jordan-Hare Stadium.
Yeah. But you do get the thing about getting more NIL money. That's not about students' rights or anything. That's about, hey, how can we build a better roster? How can we get an edge? Now they're like pro teams. Like, how can we get more money to the players so we can get a better team? So maybe it helps the team in the long run because you have a better roster.
I guess
for one
so.
game. I think you could make that argument from a team building standpoint.
I know, and I want the players to be able to capitalize and cash in. I'm not so sure how moving a game from Auburn to Atlanta to play Baylor all of a sudden lines everybody's pockets with more NIL money, but apparently this is a thing, according to Hugh Freeze.
It does feel like there are money opportunities here. Like, what's it called? Mercedes-Benz. I don't even know what that stadium's
What, to
called.
do
That's right.
a public appearance at, what's the famous strip club down there?
I don't know. Trust me, there is money involved in this move right here.
Magic City.
Yeah.
I don't even think that's...
Well, that's Orlando. Is that the same one in Atlanta? That's stupid here.
No, it's definitely an Atlanta thing. Magic City.
Oh.
Yeah, the lemon pepper wings.
What's the one in Orlando? Oh.
EJ.
Yeah, EJ, a big connoisseur of the strip clubs down in Florida.
EJ, you have them in your Rolodex.
Let's see what rap star I have that's talked about an Orlando strip club. I'll get you back to you in a second.
But Auburn's in a tough spot because in SEC, like, you need an edge in NIL. Like, they need the money. I totally get it.
But how about losing the home game where I know there'll be a lot of Auburn fans in Atlanta, but you lose a home game where you might need that home crowd to help you win.
Gotta hope Baylor's down here.
Coming up, one experiment has officially failed.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
Arms outstretched, shotgun snap, quick throw. It's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off on the play, and here comes the wonderful linebacker running up the middle. It's Lloyd. He takes it on the sideline, 30-40, chasing to the 50. Down the sideline, 40, 30, 20. Foot race to the 10. 5, touchdown! Touchdown! Mahomes has been picked off by Devin Lloyd. Near the goal line. Down the sideline for 6. A pick 6.
Thanks to Kevin Harlan on Westwood One. Major moment of the game last night. Jacksonville took a 21-14 lead off of that pick 6 of Mahomes. The Chiefs would tie the game up, though, and then Jacksonville, with Trevor Lawrence playing hero down at the goal line on a first-and-goal situation, he gets stepped on by his offensive lineman, falls to the ground, stumbles again to the ground, Pearl, but gets up and is able to run in for the score. And then the Chiefs on the next possession fell short. Jags come away with a 31-28 win.
Another blown double-digit lead, which was the story of the week, up 14-0. I thought the Chiefs were going to win this game, to be honest, because I feel like Mahomes is sharp. This game they won every time last year. All the close games they won. And last night's game, they had a final drive that looked like it was the game-winning drive. They just left way too much time on the clock, couldn't quite kill the clock, and couldn't stop Trevor Lawrence, who I think he proved last night he's a really good quarterback. I know it's messy at times, and I know it's not consistent, but I think the guy can play. I just think the problem with he's always had, it's the same thing with Caleb Williams. It's actually the same thing with Arch Manning. He's always been a victim of his own expectations. If he was picked not first overall, we'd be like, oh yeah, that guy's really good. He's just got a sort of a bad team around him. Now the team around him is getting a little better, and they're winning. And they are getting better. They're definitely, the pieces around him are better. Last night he had an O-line injury. His tight end got hurt, and he still sort of willed them to a victory.
Yeah, listen, he's a number 1 overall pick, right? And beyond that was like a generational talent, won a national championship as a freshman. So, yeah, The expectations were massive. But I don't know. I think there's also things where, like, Jared Goff was a number 1 overall pick, and we kind of were able to see him for what he was, and now he's, awesome in this Detroit offense. But for me, why Trevor gets knocked down a peg is not because of the expectations. It's because at times he comes up really small. Last night he didn't. Last night he came up big, but there's still really, like, silly things, like throwing the ball when you're in front of the line of scrimmage and taking delay of game penalties and the stuff that were kind of like, all right, it's year 5, dude. Now, in his defense, the Jags are generally a mess. I mean, third head coach, the Urban Meyer thing was terrible, but, I don't know. I think that also he still leaves a lot to be desired. Now, last night was a huge game for him. This Jags team had really been carried by their defense to this 4-1 start, and Trevor made the plays they needed to last night. So kudos to him.
Yeah, I don't see him the same way you do. I think he's a good quarterback. Remember, it started out like a house on fire after that Urban Meyer year.
Yeah.
He was
made the Pro Bowl.
He was an MVP candidate, won that come from behind playoff game, but then the Jags started to implode around him. You saw the receiving core was bad, the line was bad, the defense was bad, and now I think that the pieces around him are better. I think you're going to see a winning Trevor Lawrence. And obviously, the guy physically is unbelievable. He can make great throws. He can run. I'm not sure. You're right. In the biggest moment, is he going to be able to step up? We haven't really seen it, so we don't know. But last night, he sure did.
Here's Trevor Lawrence on that final play from his side of the ball. On the 1st and goal, he tripped and he panicked.
I mean, just panic, honestly, because I was trying to get up to get the ball out of my hands. The clock, we didn't have any timeouts. So I was really going to just stand up and launch it out of the back of the end zone. But then I had a little bit of a lane, so I took it and, scored from there.
Yeah, and I can understand why he was panicked, because that's a panic-inducing situation when you get stepped on by your lineman and then you fall. To be fair to Trevor also, it wasn't just that final play, although you're going to see it and hear about it probably all day today. He had 2 dimes that he threw on that final drive. one to Brian Thomas on the one sideline and the other, I believe, to De'Ami Brown on the other sideline. And it was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So,
and by the way, I know his numbers are down this year, but why is that? Brian Thomas hasn't been able to catch anything. They led the league in drops by not just like a little bit, but by a mile early in the season. I think he's good. Watch out for this young guy with long hair.
meanwhile, can we put up the poll question? We haven't already, EJ, forgive me. Starting to see some cracks in the Chiefs veneer. All right, it's already up. Fantastic. At Maggie and Pearl on X. And it's not just about the 13 penalties last night on the Chiefs for over 100 penalty yards. Very, very uncharacteristic. But you mentioned it. They used to win these close games automatically. 15-2 last year, 11-0 in close and one-score games. Now this year they're 0-3 in these one-score games. It's just not the same. Now they're not at full strength. I'll give you that. Yeah. Rashee Rice is not back yet, but they do not have that same late-game magic that they did.
Yeah, but I think they look better as a team than they did last year. Last year, I don't even know how they won those games. Remember, the one that stands out is when they beat the Broncos because the Broncos screwed up a special teams play at the end. This offense is back, I think. And you're seeing that statistically. It's getting better and better and better. And it'll just get better when Rashee Rice gets back. I just think the second half Chiefs are going to be a lot tougher. If, Mahomes, I do want him to tone down the running a little bit. He does get nicked up. He is trying to put this team on his back. I think he's going to have enough help that he doesn't need to do that. I'm not exactly sure when this schedule will lighten up enough, but there are going to be some opportunities. They're going to be at a point like Sunday, November 2nd, 4:25 in Buffalo. If you have a really, really desperate Chiefs team, I think that changes the calculus. I think they're going to be really hard out when they're fully constituted. When Rashee Rice is back, their offense is going to be humming. I'm not giving up on the Chiefs at all.
Their next game is Sunday night against the Detroit Lions, but it's in Kansas City. Again, we asked you on X, are you seeing cracks in the Chiefs? And 80% of you are saying yes. You can go and vote. That's pretty overwhelming. Maybe a little Chiefs bias, anti-Chiefs bias in there somewhere. Meanwhile, let's get to this other crazy thing that dropped into our laps yesterday. So obviously, Pearl, the hockey season starts tonight. Basketball is just around the corner. LeBron James shared a 9-second video.
Cleveland!
Not that.
This is for you!
Shared a 9-second video on social media on Monday.
Okay.
That shows him walking into like a room to sit across from an unidentified person. This guy's kind of sitting there. And everyone's saying, oh, this is giving us, the Decision vibes. I don't really see that. That was Jim Gray in a Boys and Girls Club. But
he called it the second decision.
So he said, the decision of all decisions, October 7th, noon Eastern time, hashtag the second decision.
Yeah, I would say that gives off decision vibes.
No, the caption did, not the video, not the visual. But
it's by him. It's LeBron wrote that. It's not, he wrote the decision of all decisions. He used the word decision 3 times. Yes, I would say that is a decision vibe.
Okay, but we have no idea who the person is in the video, unless internet sleuths have figured out who this guy is, because I saw 1,000 guesses. None of them seem to be right.
It's not Ahmad Rashad.
It's definitely not Jim Gray, who was there for the first decision. It's definitely not Richard Jefferson, who Perloff thought it was, and a lot of other people.
I saw it on my phone. It's a bald guy.
Someone said that it's like the head of the NFL, the NBA, like the retirement arm of the Players Association. None of that stuff is true. I was searching this all over last night.
Well, isn't it like everyone thinks it's an Amazon ad, right?
So, okay, now you got a couple different options here of what is this thing. First and foremost, is this a retirement announcement? Again, we don't know who this person is. I would think a retirement announcement would come with like the family around. He's been such Mr. Family Guy.
He's LeBron James.
Isn't that Savannah and Bronny and
Bryce? Don't forget Bryce.
And the daughter.
And let's not forget
Shiloh. And somehow Shiloh Sanders is there. Yeah. The daughter's probably the best athlete of the whole family.
Zuri, right?
Zuri, thank you.
Well, yeah, it's clearly Prime Day. We all know that, right? I'm very confident this is not retirement. This is an advertisement.
Okay, so you guys had a problem with this yesterday.
Yeah, it's
and
so
the internet.
annoying. It's so on brand for
It's very lame.
LeBron James. I mean, if you put up that poll, get ready for a lopsided one. Do you find it annoying that LeBron James is doing an ad and calling it the second decision? Yeah, I think there's no doubt about it. And I know it might not be logical for me to fall into this rage bait here, but come on, LeBron, what are you doing?
So Pearl on the call last night, we're talking about this. He goes, man, how much money does LeBron James need? And the answer is never enough when you're trying to buy an NBA team, which he's definitely trying to do.
Wait. So why not go? There's definitely there's got to be a line of like, you're just going to take anybody's money? Is he going to go do 3 years of Saudi Arabia basketball just to get millions? Probably.
Ronaldo did. I mean, no, I'm not saying LeBron is gonna play in Saudi Arabia, but like, I don't understand why LeBron would get a backlash here. First of all, it has nothing to do with Saudi Arabia, but why would he get a backlash that he's doing some kind of? It's just like in poor taste. It's not.
Yeah, no, it's not
harmful to you or to anybody, and you can just easily ignore it if you want.
Well, I don't mind any. No. It's the nature of the ad. I don't mind all those other ads. The ones with Kevin Hart, I will admit I find them very funny. I don't like to admit that because people are like, what are you talking about? But yeah, I think that this particular ad is like, the decision was a big deal. And now he's on the verge of retirement. He says, I'm doing second decision. And the decision is going to be, I don't know, like what I'm going to order at Chipotle or something.
Yeah.
Like,
where?
Okay.
Chipotle.
So here's the other thing about it. It might just be in poor taste, okay? But that's not a crime. It's not.
Nobody said it was a crime.
But it's not it's not a reason to get upset about at LeBron. There's a million reasons if you want to hate LeBron James, you can find them, right? He's been around. He's been in our lives for 25 years. If you don't like him, you probably are dug in on your side, and there's nothing that can do to change your mind about LeBron James.
Got that right.
That's fine. That's fair. Whatever. But this, just like maybe doing a stupid ad, that does not rise to the level. Peyton Manning is still doing dumb ads. Josh Allen's in every ad.
That's Peyton Manning.
Tom Brady's would go to the opening of an envelope right now. There's nothing he won't do. And we don't seem to give them the same kind of backlash. A little bit to Brady. We were like, you're a little overexposed. We said that over the summer.
Wait, when have we actually gotten on LeBron for ads? We've always gotten on him for the lies and all that stuff, like The Godfather.
Not watching The Godfather.
Yeah. Which, by the way, he makes fun of himself in a new ad about that one, which is really funny.
And
but
can't you make fun of the decision at this point? Like, he went back to Cleveland and won them a title. All's forgiven.
It just feels like he's being very exploited with the situation.
Yeah.
This is for you.
What's the situation? The decision or his retirement?
Everything.
People
He's
hanging
exploiting the retirement. He's just exploiting the fact that he may actually leave the Lakers. He's exploiting the fact that the decision is one of the big moments of his career. It's probably one of the lowest moments of his career. Like, he's exploiting all of that for the sake of, what, $5 million or whatever? And, like, I think to the lamest person, the person who's not making millions of dollars, who doesn't have a LeBron James mansion, they look at this and they're like, come on, guy. Like, are you really that desperate for money where you're going to literally exploit anything in your career?
Yeah, and also don't forget the Bronny thing. BJ, don't forget the Bronny thing as well. Like that situation, we're on the tail of that, and Bronny does not look good in preseason, where a lot of people are making fun of him. So I think it's all part of the stew here.
No, listen, you want to get on him about Bronny. Totally. Like, the guy used his influence to get his son drafted in the NBA. It was ridiculous and remains ridiculous. But as far as just like him doing an ad, and isn't the decision like, isn't it kind of his legacy to play around with? Like, yeah, it was a low moment for him. And maybe now he's trying to turn it into something that we can all laugh about, 15 years later or whenever. Yeah, it was 2010, right?
But he's playing around with it with something that is serious, which is his retirement. Like, that is a serious thing. Like, if we could say we could have moved on from the decision, understanding that maybe it was a controversial moment at the time, that's one thing. But then to tie that to, everybody's wondering where I'm going to retire, and you're making now this thing of whether he's going to have a retirement tour, again, whether he's going to leave the Lakers, like all these things that we actually care about, and you're making a joke out of that. It's just, and again, it's for money. It's like, all right, guy, like you will exploit anything for $1.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could say that about a lot of athletes, though. I don't think that he's the only one who's exploiting stuff for a buck.
Though he does, like, LeBron has a little bit of a higher status because of some of his social issue causes. So you could call him a hypocrite in that sense because he's partying up with Amazon. Like name a gigantic corporate force out there, and LeBron will do something for money.
And if Tom Brady was like, I'm gonna make a thing about Deflategate, I think we would look at this and be like, really, dude, you're gonna exploit Deflategate?
It'd be very similar. He would get killed for that particular thing.
Okay, he might, but like Tom Brady was out there doing crypto. That guy's in jail. Like, that dude scammed people, and Brady was right there at the front doing commercials that were running on Sundays. I just don't want to be hypocritical about other stars and people who we think this could be above them. I'm watching Wayne Gretzky doing FanDuel ads or whatever. Like these guys who have this really big status in our society still are not, sometimes just go for the dollar or go for the eyeballs. And I guess here's my other thing about LeBron. Like, EJ, I get what you're saying about like exploiting his retirement and maybe that to us seems like a very sacred thing. But also, like, we're in year 23, so this is not going to come as a shock to anybody. And he's going to get all the flowers, right? Like, we are going to have plenty of time. I don't know if he'll necessarily do the tour, but I almost think he can't help himself. Like, I think he kind of wants the tour. And I think we're going to have plenty of time to sort of celebrate his retirement. If he wants to poke fun at it, to me, that's not crazy. And also, the Lakers seem to have said bye. Like, they traded for Luka. I don't know if they think that if their success they feel like is really tied and they're hanging on his every move.
No, that's true. The Lakers definitely seem to. Rob Pelinka said, like, however LeBron wants to end his career, we will do whatever he wants.
We'll trade him to Cleveland right now.
He wants to leave, he wants to stay, he wants whatever. We'll honor however we want. So I do get that, but again, I think it would be different if he was retired and doing this stuff. Like you mentioned Brady, you mentioned Gretzky, we mentioned these guys that are retired. Peyton Manning. These guys are retired, going back to
Josh Allen's in every commercial. Do you have a problem with that?
But he's in the prime of his career, and I think that also is a little different. Like
Josh Allen, by the way, none of these guys sit down with JJ Redick and 2 bottles of wine. Like there's a million things that annoy you. And if you don't, I can't believe you don't get that. Like, go listen to the Steve Nash, LeBron James, get talked down about basketball philosophy. Like,
yeah, but that's also to a very niche audience. Like,
it's all annoying.
You can very easily ignore that. It's not like you have to listen to the podcast in order to watch LeBron play basketball. You can go your whole life and never listen to 1 second of that pod, and no one would be the wiser.
So you don't mind all these little LeBron micro mess ups or whatever you call them. Like, of course I love LeBron as a player, but I don't know. I just feel like he kind of feels like a hypocrite sometimes.
They're just not that big of a deal to me. Like, to me, Tom Brady went into that roast of Tom Brady where comics got up and basically eviscerated the mother of his child.
Yeah.
Of his children, right? Like, over and over again. Bruises on her knees. I mean, come on. Like, really, really.
It's Giselle Bundchen. She's a bigger star than him. Who cares?
But he didn't have to step into that. Like, they could make those jokes at the comedy club, a comedy cellar, and that's an audience of whatever, do it on an HBO special. This was like Tom Brady put himself in the crosshairs.
Yeah, but Tom Brady
to me, is something that's worth criticism.
Nobody takes Tom Brady seriously either. Like, Tom Brady wasn't exactly a superhero in that. Like, the guy got cheated on by his wife, and they got made fun of for 2 hours. It's not like everyone's like, wow, Tom Brady's the coolest.
No. You're talking about, though, you're like, why don't I mind LeBron James, like, unforced errors is kind of what you're saying. And I'm like, ones. Brady had the biggest unforced error. He stepped right into the belly of the beast with the best comics in the country. He set himself up to get ripped apart. That's way worse to me than LeBron taking some money for some stupid ad.
By the way, Brady is not respected right now. Like, Brady is not. Like, Brady gets made fun of almost as much as LeBron. Its post-career is not going awesome for him.
And I think Perloff is right where I think there's a nuance of like, well, Brady in some ways is like in with Giselle getting skewered the way she did, and Pete was here and I was here. We were saying that's not going to be a good look. It also makes Brady look bad, and it's like he also is the butt of the jerk too. Like, every joke about Giselle is also still a joke about him.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, it's like, that's your wife, dog. Like, that was your wife, and this is what happened to you. So I think it's a little different because he's still taking the punches. It's not direct, but it's indirect. With LeBron, with this, and it's again, it's a lot sillier. It's a lot less stakes in it. But again, it's just like, okay, this guy, we get it. We know you're trying to buy a team. We know you're going to exploit any opportunity for money. But this, really, like, the retirement tour potentially, or are you going to leave the Lakers? Like, these are things that, with other things with LeBron, you're right, we can ignore. I can't ignore what's going to happen at noon today, whatever's going to happen. Now I have to figure out what's going to happen because I'm invested in basketball. I'm invested in his career. I think that's why a lot of fans see this and roll their eyes.
Well, by the way, sorry, another funny conversation we had last night. Like, say it's $5 million for this Amazon Prime Day commercial. That's it. The team is going to cost $7 billion. I don't think the $5 million really moves the needle that much. He's going to be part of an investment team to buy. He wants Vegas, I believe, right?
Well, he's already involved with the Fenway Group. He's like a part owner of Liverpool. He's already in with that.
Yeah, so I don't think he needs like all these little dollars to be an owner. I don't think that really makes a huge difference. $7 billion, I can't do the percentage, but $5 million for a tacky ad is not going to do anything.
Pearl, do you remember that scene on Hard Knocks where Carl Nassib teaches everybody about compound interest? Were you not paying attention to that clip?
He has to do a tonal ad so he can buy buy the Hornets? Like, what's happening here? Michael Jordan invented a shoe brand and is worth billions. Like LeBron doing these, little things is not going to make a big difference.
Every nickel counts.
That Jeff Bezos money.
888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476.
$7 billion, Maggie.
Are we sure it's Amazon Prime?
No, I mean, wait, by the way,
that.
well, if he retires today, then that'd be fun because then we'd all be wrong.
Would you guys owe LeBron an apology? Because he would have gotten your attention, but it would have been for something really important.
I mean, does anyone here think there's a chance it's a retirement? I do not.
I don't either. But even if it was, I still would feel like this is a corny way to do it.
Of course.
Who is the other guy in the commercial? Again, LeBron James making a big announcement at noon Eastern today, calling it the second decision.
I have a wild card.
Who is it?
Listen. Nothing says America quite like tacos, the Mexican food.
Yeah.
Today is National Taco Day,
Yeah.
and
Is it?
LeBron James.
Taco Tuesday.
It's also Tuesday. Might be a Taco Bell ad.
But who's that? What's that guy's connection to Taco Bell?
CEO of Taco Bell? What does the CEO of Taco Bell look like?
Now
What's the
we're all
marketing
Googling the
genius at
CEO of Taco Bell.
Taco Bell look like?
I don't know. I mean, Devontae Adams has a Taco Bell in his house.
Yeah, I know.
I thought it was Devontae Adams.
Maybe Devontae Adams shows up in the ad.
All right, I'm seeing the CEO of Taco Bell. His name is Sean Tresvant.
Taco
He's not bald.
Tuesday.
He's a black dude, but he's not
bald.
He's not bald. So unless he would have shaved his head. I see a picture with him without facial hair, and I'm like, okay, if he was bald, maybe. But the facial hair pictures are the ones I see the most, and he doesn't look like the guy.
Taco
He looks a little bit like House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, but he has a little bit of hair. I saw him recently on TV.
Yeah, he's got that low cut.
Yeah. Did you see that at all?
Yeah.
Am I crazy
no,
with that
you're
one?
right. Yeah, he's got a bald lineup. Him and Chris Paul, they got like a bald lineup. It's like, how you bald, but you got a lineup? That's crazy.
Yeah, first of all, I don't even care what LeBron does anymore. I just want to find out who the second person is.
Well, I saw on social media, what if the whole announcement is just to announce who the second guy is? Let
this
us introduce
is Bill.
Yeah. Bill's here. Bill's important.
The second decision is, is this guy like is an accountant? Like, who is this guy?
I'm even more convinced that guy is just a nobody actor because it probably cost Amazon, whoever is a part of this ad, probably $1 gazillion to get LeBron, so their budget was just like nothing. Said, all right, LeBron, here's 99% of our budget. We got 1% for the cameraman, crew, and the actor. So
here's Tom.
You, random guy on the street, you want to be in a commercial with LeBron? Just sit there in that chair and act like Jim Gray for a second.
Yeah, put the suit on and just sit there and then look at the camera when LeBron walks in.
This guy's going to be like the head of like a Marvel movie in like 10 years. This is going to be his big start.
This is a big break.
And I'm a little annoyed that we are doing this ad for whoever it is. Like, whoever came up with this campaign is brilliant, by the way, because everyone's talking about it.
Well, and they got LeBron James on board,
Well, yeah, but you can have LeBron, but this is like, we don't normally talk about the other LeBron ads. This ad is really popping.
Yeah, that's true. 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. I guess our message to whoever's putting out this ad better be good. Better be worth it because you've got our attention. All right. Okay. You can call in, weigh in. Does LeBron annoy you? Yes, no?
Okay.
All right. Coming up next, let's go back to college football, shall we? Because we've got some teams on life support, MMP.
Taco Tuesday.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. 3 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
This portion of the show is brought to you by Ethos Life, the easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Just a few health questions. Get your free quote at checkethos.com. Not available in all states. I did a project yesterday, Maggie, a sports project. Yesterday.
Like with glitter and glue? What kind of project?
Are you going to present for the class?
I dove deep into the Texas Longhorns and a theory on why they're so bad.
I thought you said yesterday, offensive line stinks.
Yes, but I did more. They lost so much talent to the NFL over the last 2 years. And you know who they brought in their transfer class? Nobody. They didn't do the transfer portal. They had one of the worst transfer classes all. So they lost 3 starting linemen, including the number 9 pick in the draft, and didn't bring in anybody. So this is not Arch's fault. They've lost 3 first-round quality receivers. A.D. Mitchell went in the second round. But they lost Golden, Worthy, and Mitchell. They lost multiple NFL running backs. They lost multiple NFL offensive linemen. They are a total mess. It's not on Sark. It's not on Manning. It's on whoever's running that darn program because there's not enough talent there. And I don't know why you let me pick them to go into the Final Four.
It's my fault. But, I mean...
It's a roster.
Did you not give the same grace to Georgia? Do we not give the same grace to Michigan? Do we not give the same grace to these other teams that send tons of guys to the NFL?
Well, that's why Georgia is not Georgia anymore.
Well, they seem to be winning still.
But they're not the team that beat TCU 65-7. That was 3 deep in the NFL players.
Well, that was a different time. I mean, we might not see those kind of teams ever again in terms of that kind of depth. But no, it's still on Sark, and it's still on the powers that be at Texas because they chose to roll with these young guys. It wasn't because they couldn't afford it. They thought we can coach them up. So that was a choice. Texas has more money. They can go into the portal whenever they want to.
Right. But I think we make a mistake when we look at college football, ignoring when guys leave. Like Penn State, Tyler Warren, their entire offense left. Abdul Carter, the best defensive player in the country, left. And we just assumed in the era of transfer portal that everyone's going to figure it out. Like, guys can leave. And I always assume, I'm like, I figure Texas got paid for the best transfers possible and got even better players in. But actually, and that was a false assumption. They really didn't go into the portal at all.
No, but Penn State did go into the portal.
For wide receivers.
For wide receivers, which was a huge Achilles heel for them last year. And they lost Abdul Carter. They still have denied Dennis Sutton. It's not like they have nobodies on defense.
Yeah, but I mean, I do think Tyler Warren was such a huge part of what they do. I think he basically made up for a lot of flaws. Like, that run game is not what we thought it was. Yeah, I mean, come on. They lost 2 great players. That has to have an impact in this day and age. And it does happen to Georgia. It does happen to Alabama, too.
I don't know. Why are you paying your coaches all this money if they can't, with enough resources at these schools? This is not Little Sisters of the Poor schools. And to me, the biggest thing about Texas and why people are upset is not just because the defense got pushed around the line of scrimmage by Florida and Florida's offensive line, but Arch doesn't look like he's getting any better. See, that's the problem. We're almost halfway through the season. They've played 5 games, and
I think he looks way better. You don't think he looks better from that Ohio State game?
Well, Ohio State's the number 1 team in the country. I just still think that he's it doesn't look right. And that's probably not going to happen overnight. And you know what? I was dead wrong. He's definitely not coming out this year to the NFL draft. That'd be a disaster. And I was reading on The Athletic, Dane Brugler said he might not even come out next year. We could be looking at Arch class of 2028.
So the last 2 games, Arch, one was against nobody, 18 for 21. Who was that? Sam Houston. And then against Florida, he was 16 for 29, 263, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Again, the 2 picks were in desperation time. The last one was just a heave trying to make a play. I think and Sark keeps saying this, he's getting a little better game by game. And because it was bad. Ohio State was terrible. I think he's actually getting better. We'll see against Oklahoma, who's got a good D. That'll be a test.
888-710-4ISN. EJ, can you throw a poll question up before we get to Bogusch quickly? Do you find LeBron James annoying? Guy is in Portland, Oregon. Guy, what do you think?
LeBron doesn't get on my nerves as much as Kevin Hart. I mean, there's no doubt the dude's a great businessman, had a great agent, whatever. He's successful, but the dude's just not that funny. Most overrated stand-up comic I've ever seen. But, yeah, LeBron's okay. It's Kevin Hart that gets on my nerves. So
wow.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to. I know I'm throwing shade on Kevin Hart. I just think he's overrated. I've watched his comedy shows. They're not that funny. I mean, I don't know. He's very successful, though, so you can't argue that. I'm the WNBA fan that used to call in last year, much to the annoyance of the chat. But anyways, it's good to talk to you guys, and have a great day.
Yeah.
Guy, of course we remember you. Thank you.
Poor guy doesn't have a sense of humor.
I like Kevin Hart because he's a Phillies and Eagles fan.
Oh, come on.
That's the worst. That's the worst attribute about
worst
him.
part about him.
Easily.
But that's just a matter of taste. Guy doesn't
Him
like
and Shane
him.
Gillis.
Guy likes somebody else. But there are some, I think, objectively funny things to Kevin Hart. Say it with your chest. I think my checkings account, my savings account. He's got a couple really good bits.
I hate to be that guy, but I hate to be the early Kevin Hart stuff. Yes.
Oh, yeah. You didn't see him in the coffee shop.
Yeah, that's always how it goes with music and comedians, early stuff. I mean, I think early Kevin Hart was really funny. I think if you're watching Kevin Hart stuff now, I could see why you're cringing.
But does Kevin Hart even do comedy specials more? I feel like he does movies.
He does some.
Yeah.
Because he makes a big deal about how that's very important to him.
Well, he does it. I actually I feel like an idiot here, but I laugh at the DraftKings commercial when LeBron talked about football and he goes, yeah, they're looking for a guy who runs a fast 40, not someone who's 40. And then he says, what are you going to, after you score a touchdown, hand out butterscotches to your teammate? That's so funny because my grandparents did that. They had butterscotch.
Yeah, all of ours did. I think it's the medication makes their mouths dry. But here's the thing. So we're talking about this because LeBron's making a big announcement at noon today, and he's calling it the second decision. And so if you were unaware of that, well, now you are painfully aware. And we're going to find out what it is.
I want to say one thing. If LeBron really wants to turn people off, have Kevin Hart show up in this conversation.
All
right, I am out on this guy.
Have Jim Gray be the second. Kevin Hart be the new Jim Gray. By the way,
Jim Gray's obviously too busy shadow running the Raiders, as Amy Trask has told us multiple times.
Cracking kneecaps, apparently.
I got to tell you, Kevin Hart is falling in the power rankings of Philly sports fans. I didn't see him at the game last night. They had Shane Gillis and Miles Teller there for the first pitch. Philly fans or celebrity fans are good. Bradley Cooper is always in the stands. I think Philly has the best celebrity fans. I will say it. Casey has good ones too. Now they have Taylor, but those guys are there for the games. They care so much about it. I know you guys all hate Philadelphia fans.
Yep. Yes.
But Shane Gillis and Miles Teller, that's not bad.
Little JJ Watt, that's what we used to call him.
Yeah, Bradley Cooper,
Shami's
by the
brother
way,
TJ, he's the man.
does not sit in the stands. He sits in the owner's box. Let's get
JJ?
to
Wow. Wait, do you think he's just going to go out into section 236 and sit there? He's Bradley
Rob
Cooper.
Lowe does.
Put on a hat and glasses and just don't be such a diva.
Don't be sitting in the suites, man. Just sit with your people.
This is Philadelphia. This is not Tony Madison Square Garden. He's not going to sit out there. It's chaos.
He's going to get, a bottle cap thrown at him?
I mean,
He's
he'll
one
probably.
of your greatest
offspring. You get into it. He'll probably be throwing bottle caps at other people. Yeah,
throw a glass.
Bradley
bottle
Cooper
at
will throw down.
Let's get to Bogusch.
He gets turned down in an Uber Eats ad by a bunch of talking heads. That guy doesn't have a spine. Anyway, what's up, Bogusch?
Oh, hey, Manny. When Trevor Lawrence fell and then fell again, there seemed to be plenty of time for a Chief to touch him down in the backfield, but nobody got close, Chris Jones included.
We got to finish. We had multiple guys there that we just got to finish that play. It was a fluke play for him to be able to break that many tackles. But yeah, I think I put it on us as a defense. We got to finish.
Jones and some others got caught looking. Lawrence finally got up, ran out of one tackle, and dove across the goal line for the go-ahead touchdown with 23 seconds left in Jacksonville on Monday Night Football.
I mean, did you guys see Chris Jones on the play? It looked like he was playing a spy, but he wasn't really engaged on the play.
Yeah, he's a problem. I did see a lot of people were saying he wasn't trying on that play.
No, he's
not been effective this year.
He was initially rushing. He saw Trevor Lawrence go down. I thought he figured, okay, I guess he's down. I'm just going to take this play off, and then he just scrambles right by him.
He kind of reminded me of like those guys who always keeps yelling at people about the mistakes they're making, but he's making a lot of mistakes. Like there's always players like that on everybody's team, and he's a walk-in Hall of Famer, an amazing superstar. But watching him this season, I'm like, all right, guy. Like he's saying we're too sloppy. He's yelling at his teammates on the sidelines.
He's 31.
Yeah, like go make some plays before.
Yeah.
I don't need to see you blow up again or complain about something else someone else is doing.
The Jaguars are 4-1 after being the ones left standing last night, 31-28. Lawrence also threw for a score, negating 2 turnovers and some other mistakes, all on his birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
It's a lot of testosterone.
Happy birthday, dear
Yeah, nothing like the post-game song from your teammates.
Just a bunch of bros.
I don't think the Chiefs sang to Travis Kelce after the loss. It was his birthday as well. He did catch a touchdown pass last night, but his team is 2-3. The franchise had won 23 consecutive games when leading by 14-plus points at any point. They began last night's game with a 14-0 lead.
We drafted Xavier Worthy.
Did you see Liam Cohen in that locker room, by the way?
Yeah.
Did you predict he would be a madman NFL coach? Like, that was not the Liam Cohen. Like,
no.
He was just some, nerdy coordinator a couple years ago.
You couldn't tell off of this?
Duval.
Well, it's funny because, I'm sorry, he got into the dust-up with Robert Saleh, right? And Saleh was the opposite.
Yeah.
When Saleh was a defensive coordinator, he was a madman. He needed a get-back guy totally insane. He takes over as the head coach of the New York Jets, and all of a sudden,
all gas, no brakes.
He just didn't speak. He didn't move. He didn't talk. He just stood there like a statue.
Yeah, Liam puts that hat on. It's a whole different person.
Yeah, I'm looking at a picture of
Sasha
Liam
Fierce
Cohen
and
right now.
Beyonce?
Yeah.
It's
He
an
looks
alter
like
ego.
he should be in the press box with me. He's a total nerd. I don't understand.
Game 2 in Milwaukee last night could not have started better for the Cubs.
Here's a swing and a drive. Deep left field. It's got a chance. Get out the tape measure. Long gone. 3-run homer. Seiya Suzuki. Cubs lead 3-0.
Just 4 batters into the game. That was Pat Hughes on Cubs radio. The problem was the Cubs never scored again. The Brewers clubbed 2 3-run homers of their own. They won 7-3 for a 2-0 lead. The Dodgers survived a 9th-inning rally in Philly to win 4-3 for their own 2-0 lead. The ALDSs get back on the field today, now in Detroit and the Bronx. The Tigers and Mariners break their 1-1 tie at 4 Eastern. The Yankees try to stay alive against the Blue Jays at 8. Adam Silver said yesterday the NBA is not considering taking this season's All-Star game away from the Clippers as the league investigates that possible fake marketing deal for Kawhi Leonard. And it's not surprising that hockey's best player, Connor McDavid, re-signed with the Oilers yesterday. It's fairly surprising, though, that it's only a 2-year extension worth just $25 million. So for now, Edmonton has 3 years and some bonus cap flexibility to win a Stanley Cup with McDavid, and then maybe he signs his mega deal with them or somebody else in the summer of 2020.
Oh, is that right?
Back to you guys.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. We were waiting for this Connor McDavid contract to come down, and I kind of like it from McDavid's point of view because you don't have you don't lose your fan base in Edmonton as being some kind of turncoat who leaves, right, after back-to-back Stanley Cup final failures. You still give your team a chance, but you can't be tied to them forever because at some point, if you can't get it done in Edmonton, you got to leave.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? He's kind of splitting the baby.
Yep.
He's 28 now, so he can leave after the 28 season. And Bogusch, you're more of a hockey expert. Like, you're still in your prime at 31. I guess he'll be 31.
It's hockey players.
Yeah.
They play forever.
Right.
The good ones.
But he's so physically dominant. He's a little different than. I mean, listen. Again, I'm not a hockey guy, but like Gretzky was just so crafty and stuff. Like McDavid's just faster and stronger. But seeing him play live was one of the craziest hockey experiences I ever saw. It looked like Bogusch in the backyard with young Jake just dominating.
Thank you for noticing. I appreciate that. Yeah. I mean, the only weird negative is that what does he owe to the union to always max out his contract? Because he didn't max it out.
No, he took way less.
Yes. I played club floor hockey at Fordham, and we won.
Champions. Oh, man.
And you weren't leaving $7 million on the table.
No,
like
I took every
doing.
last penny from that operation.
Well,
I had 2 free T-shirts.
On the flip side, LeBron James has not done that. And because Maggie and EJ keep saying he needs every single dollar to buy the Las Vegas franchise.
Correct.
Like the difference between $16 million and $40 million is going to buy a franchise. Come on, people. Maybe McDavid doesn't want to buy a franchise. Maybe he's just happy to live on $20 million a year with endorsements.
$7 million a year.
Well, endorsements.
Oh, right.
I assume that Tim Horton.
I was going to say,
Horton cash.
are we seeing Connor McDavid and all these endorsements?
Not here in America.
Probably got that sport check coming in. Familiar with sports check?
No.
No, it's like a Canadian Dick's.
Oh, okay.
I mean, honestly, like how much money did you need to get by in Edmonton?
I'm not counting other people's money. I saw his house at Architectural Digest. He's got taste.
Yeah.
What?
Well, I'm sure Mrs. McDavid has taste.
You saw that where?
Architectural Digest.
I'm looking at the most
Slash
expensive
Instagram.
house in Edmonton. It is not yeah. Most expensive house I'm seeing, it was $3.6 million. Now it's there's some more expensive ones.
And the second most expensive is Mark Messier's, right?
Yeah. Does he live there?
No.
888-710-4ISN. Guys,
Do you
just
live there
dunking
by
on Edmonton
choice?
for no reason. 888-710-4476. Okay, lots more to do, including next hour. Amy Dash, our Odyssey legal analyst, is going to join us to get to the bottom of this Mark Sanchez situation.
Very nice, eh?
We've got another crazy legal story to get to you as well, and the one NFL question we're all asking today, but some too afraid to answer. Not Maggie Perloff.
You're in a 5-minute break. 4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Is this a subtle ploy for me to give out the number? 888-710-4ISN, 888-710-4476. To give you the topic. Perloff, you brought this to our attention yesterday. We'll get back to sports in just a moment, but a woman in the UK?
No, I think she was Australian.
Oh, pardon me. Yep, Australia. I see it right here. Found guilty of murdering 3 relatives.
Damn.
She did it at a family lunch in 2023 where she poisoned a beef Wellington.
And guess how she did it? I don't think Manny knows the story.
Go ahead.
She put in a deadly mushroom called death cap mushrooms into the beef Wellington, and 4 people ate it, 3 died, 1 went into a coma. And this apparently, doing a little research, when people die of mushroom poisonings, it's almost always a death cap mushroom. And I Googled the image. It looks like any other mushroom. It's got a funny color to it, but this could happen to anybody. And I got to be honest, I've had beef Wellington. It's so delicious that I'd be tempted to go for it and roll the dice.
Mushrooms be damned. This could kill me, but God, I do love beef Wellington.
It's a good thing that I don't like mushrooms, except for one particular mushroom, but that's neither here nor there.
Well, that one doesn't kill you, but it makes you go cuckoo.
She said it was an accident, and she has all these excuses. She didn't eat it. She basically had this elaborate story. Can you imagine that trial? Because how do you prove that she didn't just pick the wrong mushroom?
Okay, but I'm going to just go to a classic beef Wellington recipe.
Yes.
Delicious.
Are death cap mushrooms in the recipe?
Only on certain cookbooks. But even just like, here's Gordon Ramsay, okay? So like famous,
I know him.
famous chef. Let me get to it. Let's see the ingredients. There's no mushrooms in a beef Wellington normally. Beef tenderloin, pepper, olive oil, yellow mustard. Oh, 1 pound of mushrooms. Sorry.
Damn.
Yeah, because there's like
I've never made a beef Wellington. I guess there's mushrooms in the recipe. Because I was
there's
going to say,
like a gravy in there, right between the meat and the bread or whatever that is. So yeah, I get this. She had made up that she had cancer and was dying, and that's why she gathered everyone for the lunch. They don't have a motive, by the way.
I got the motive. She's nuts.
I was going to say she's bananas, obviously, and we're making light of it, but obviously this is a really sad situation that people died. But it's just like, I'm sure their in-laws.
Yeah, it was, and her husband too her husband's the one who went into a coma. He's a pastor, I believe.
Wait, here's my question about the methodology here. So she gets these death cap mushrooms.
Right.
This woman in Australia who poisoned her family.
Yes.
Where do you buy these? Or
no, she's a forager.
But it says that they're native to Europe and the British Isles, and she's in Australia.
Well, Australia isn't anywhere close to Europe.
Exactly. It's a totally different climate.
Okay. I assume that you could get death cap mushrooms in Australia.
But why would anyone want to grow those? Like, we should wipe them off the face of the earth, no?
This grows in the wild. And
Right.
she'd go out into the forest and forage mushrooms.
This is how the Aborigines got rid of all the people who were invading Australia. They would do the death cap mushroom.
I mean, I didn't even know that you could get a death cap mushroom. I've never heard of them until you sent this story.
No, I didn't either. I mean, I watch a lot of survival shows, and sometimes when you're in the forest, you have to eat mushrooms to survive, but you got to know what you're doing here. She almost got away with the perfect crime. She really could have got away with say, I accidentally put this mushroom in there. And maybe she did accidentally put it. She still is claiming her innocence, but she's going to jail. Again, the beef Wellington sounded delicious, though.
Except for that poisonous mushroom that's
tell,
in it.
Tell that to the 3 people who are no longer breathing.
By the way, so if she is this great forager and she knows all of this, then she would know that the death cap mushroom, according to this, has a greenish yellow tint to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you guys ever, in your head, I don't know, just randomly try to figure out if you could get away with the perfect murder? We've done this before.
No, Your Honor.
It's never crossed on your mind, like, could I get away with murder? Like,
I definitely am not detail-oriented enough. I mean, I thought this story happened in England. It happened in Australia. Clearly, I was way off. I could never pull off something like this.
What did you just ask me?
Well, you know why I don't think anybody can, because there are cameras everywhere. I learned this on my grand jury experience. Cameras have everything, so now it's really hard to get away with
That's the
murder.
first reason why.
What the hell did you just say to me?
That's the reason why you think you can't get away with a crime? Because of the cameras, not just because it's wrong?
Well, it wasn't a question of wrong or right. The question is, could you get away with it? What if there was a compelling reason you had to kill a relative? Like, insurance fraud.
Jeez, Pearl. What is this episode of Dateline?
By the way, you guys want to come over for dinner tonight?
Sorry, Auntie.
Never again. I'm never eating with you, even
I'm
at a
making
restaurant.
mushroom soup.
What am I even going to title this on the chapters?
Perloff and the perfect crime. All right, coming up next, someone is a crime against the NFL.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. 15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
From the Chiefs 14, 3rd and 13, shotgun snap, 5-man, 6-man rush. He throws a pass, end zone, leaping attempt. It's it, deflected and intercepted. Intercepted by Brian Cook. Flags in the end zone, flags all over the field. With 30 seconds to go. Lot of hand-to-hand contact. It looks like it's on Kansas City, and it's a pass interference call.
That was Kevin Harlan on Westwood 1, and the Jags had to come from behind in this game. They end up winning 31-28. Just another big comeback that we saw in Week 5. And Pearl, this one was meaningful. First of all, it keeps the Jags at the top of the AFC South, and maybe their turnaround looks a little more legit. But also, this is another close game lost by the Kansas City Chiefs, which is something that we're not used to. They're 0-3 now this season in one-score games.
Yeah, I mean, their schedule's been crazy, as we knew it was going to be, and they're without their best receiver, Rashee Rice. This was a problem. We knew they were going to come in here and come out of the 6-game stretch without Rice at either 3-3, possibly 2-4. So if they lose Detroit, which is a big if because the game is in KC next week, they'd be 2-4. I am not counting them out at all. I think the Chiefs actually, in some ways, look better than they did last year. Because last year, their offense was so anemic. At least last night, they had 476 total yards. Mahomes was throwing the ball well in addition to running. I'm not panicked at all about KC.
All right, we asked you on X, are you seeing cracks in the Chiefs? And 84% of you are saying yes. And I'm with the crowd on this one. I'm not just saying this is Chiefs hate. In fact, I think it's Chiefs respect. I'm not used to seeing them commit 13 penalties, and that seems like a one-off, but that was 13 penalties last night for over 100 yards, 4 on special teams that actually end up being really big and impacting the game, especially the last 2 penalties on special teams, which could have put them in field goal range rather easily and instead back them up. You're in a tight game here. I'm watching Patrick Mahomes have to do everything. And it's funny because you're saying there's this kind of complement of receivers, a little like Buffalo in a way, where it's not the number one guy. Kelsey used to be a number one. He's not anymore. But it's almost like death by 1,000 paper cuts. But at the same time, if you have all these weapons at your disposal, why does it seem like Patrick Mahomes literally has to do everything? He's still their leading rusher. They have not gotten the run game going with Pacheco. And I don't know. There's still, I think, a lot more to be desired. And maybe Rashee Rice just sort of, changes all of that. But we even mentioned on the defensive side, the highlight that's going to come out of this game is the Trevor Lawrence touchdown that gives the Jags the lead. About 20 so seconds left. He gets his foot stepped on. He falls again. And he still is able to get up and scramble and get into the end zone. And we were just talking about it in the last hour. Chris Jones kind of quit on that play. It was weird. And there are all pros on that defense, and they played pretty well last night, but at the same time, uncharacteristic mistakes that we're not used to seeing the Chiefs make.
Well, maybe it's just an unlucky loss. I mean, there was a 99-yard pick six on a play that Mahomes just did not see Devin Lloyd. It wasn't any kind of structural mistake. And, back to the Mahomes doing everything. Well, they had 318 passing yards. Almost all of it was yak. I mean, there was guys making plays after the catch. What they can't connect on is a deep pass. Did you see Mahomes?
Well, Tyquan Thornton has been pretty good for them this year.
But he tried a bunch of bombs. No, I think Mahomes, look at his numbers on the deep passes. They're not like they used to be. I think that's in part because Tyreek Hill used to elevate those numbers. But they're getting there. I think Rashee Rice is a true number one. He had 100 yards in 3 of his 4 games before getting hurt last season. I think that their offense is just going to get better and better. Again, like we predicted, we knew this was going to be a slow start, and this is exactly what's happening. That game was in KC. They would have won by 2 touchdowns. I hate to say it, but that Duval atmosphere kind of played into last night.
I don't know. The Chiefs still got their signature breaks, which is, not calling a pass interference on a Trevor Lawrence interception that should have been called pass interference that would have blown the play dead. Instead, it's a Kansas City Chiefs interception that set them up inside the 10, basically, right around the 10-yard line. I mean, and then Kansas City scored right off of that in 2 plays.
But you can't say that. I mean, Casey had 13 penalties. Jacksonville came into that game as the most penalized team in the NFL, and they only had 4, I believe. So it's not like, obviously the officiating did not hurt Jacksonville. I thought a lot of the holding calls were ticky-tack. I think the early season, there's been a lot of emphasis on holding on certain types of plays. I mean, even the last one, did you have to call that? The guy, it was an inconsequential block. Yeah. I don't know. I think that was bad luck. And I say luck in the sense that things like turnovers and penalties tend to come back to the mean.
So that's where the Jags have kind of been making they're putting their stamp on the season. Their identity, so to speak, has actually been on the defensive side of the ball this season. They're 4-1. They won last night 31-28, but it's been the takeaways. And Devin Lloyd had another one. I believe this is his 4th of the season already. He's in a contract year, so that's good for him. And he took it 99 yards to the house. We're not used to seeing Patrick Mahomes picked off like ever, and let alone, at the goal line. That's generally where you feel like the Chiefs are going to finish those drives. So we'll see if that comes back to the mean, or maybe this Jags defense has just found a different gear.
Well, okay. Break it down, though. The Jags beat the Panthers in week 1. No, they lost to the Bengals in a weird game. Then they shut down Houston. Offense not good. They shut down San Francisco. I think that was a limping Purdy in that game, right? San Francisco's offense is the best.
He came back for that game and then got hurt again.
And then I'll be honest with you, KC's offense kind of did what they want. I mean, you saw they had an 8-minute drive at the end of the game where they were sort of dominating the line of scrimmage. So I'm not sure. That 4-1 seems a little bit thin to me. Do you trust the Jags?
I never trust the Jags. That's this
really
team.
Don't.
That's any team. That's any Jags team ever.
It feels like them and the Colts are on this collision course to have the other shoe drop at some point.
Yeah, meanwhile, I actually think Houston uses this win against Baltimore as the turning point, as the launch point. They've got a couple, games they're going to be favored in their schedule up next, and I could see them going on a bit of a run here. 888-710-4ISN if you want to weigh in on the fact that I think the Chiefs are showing some cracks in the veneer. And do you trust the Jags? Maybe is a fun poll question as well. Meanwhile, things have gone from bad to worse with a team in the Chiefs division, and that is the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, let's hear from Pete Carroll. Raiders are 1-4. Obviously got the doors blown off of them in Indianapolis this weekend. They lost 40-6. Here's Pete Carroll saying the Raiders' turnaround has been a longer process than expected.
Yeah, it's much longer than I expected it to be. Yeah. It depends on how you put it together and how it comes together, and I feel like there's no doubt that it's going to, and we just got to get it right and get away from the big plays that are causing huge impacts in games and get down to playing ball.
Yeah, it's more than that, and I want to credit Mike Sando here from The Athletic because he did a little bit of a deep dive on this and how Pete Carroll has actually throughout his career needed more time to lay the foundation for the success, right? Like, he is an elite program builder, but took 3 seasons really to get the Seattle Seahawks kind of off the ground. Took a little bit at USC also, where he finished in his first season at USC, started 1-4 before ending that 0-1 season 6-6. So, Pete Carroll has kind of shown that you do need a little bit of time for his whole, whatever you want to call it, the culture or what have you, to really take hold. And I don't think he has that kind of time in Las Vegas.
I mean, we're 5 games in and Geno Smith has 9 interceptions. I understand that logic, but losing 40-6 to the Colts feels like this is way worse than anything that can potentially turn around in the second half of the season. I don't see it. I mean, Brock Bowers will come back. That's a huge loss for them on offense.
Yeah.
Clearly their best player. Geno's been terrible, by the way, but he goes under the radar a little bit because they picked Ashton Jeanty at number 6 overall, and they are in no position to use a running back. That's really, to me, the glaring team-building flaw in this whole thing.
888-710-4ISN. Yeah, I mean, that's one draft pick yes, it's more than just the pick itself. I think it shows what the pick represents, and Carroll just put it out there for you. They thought they were going to be a good team. They thought they were going to hit the ground running and win games. And when you are 1-4 and you've lost 2 games by 17 points and you just got blown out on the road to Indy on the road, you are so far from what you thought you were. Like, that's the disorienting part of this. If I were Carroll, I don't know if I would have said that. I don't know if I would have admitted, hey, we thought we were going to win games out of the chute. I think I would have said something to the effect of, we knew this was going to be a work in progress because you set your own expectations and you're clearly failing at them.
Well,
so
it's funny.
How do you kind of gather the troops here?
Well, everybody looked at that roster and said, like, look at your receivers. How are you possibly going to have an offense here? Jacoby Myers, Trey Tucker, now Jack Beck is listed as a third guy. Dante Thornton Jr. is a promising preseason rookie. Like, we knew they had no weapons. Like, it was kind of strange. Can you run an offense solely through your tight end? There wasn't a lot to work with. I mean, they've been a bad team forever. Why did we think Pete Carroll could turn around that roster like that? And listen, Geno Smith was good in Seattle.
Yeah.
He is prone to throwing picks. And they have an out after this year. I don't think this is going anywhere. I feel like they're going to refocus the team on getting a quarterback. Like, I'm not that they're going to bench Geno Smith, but don't you think that this is not it's going to be a soft tank in Vegas?
They didn't take Geno out of that game when they lost 40-6, which I thought was weird considering Indianapolis took Daniel Jones out of the game and put Anthony Richardson in, and they kept Geno on the field, which I thought was a little bit odd, but that's just like a postscript. My question also is, okay, so Tom Brady's involved, right?
Yeah.
Pearl, you're with me on this.
Yeah.
Brady's involved. We found out from Amy Trask, the former CEO of the Raiders, that Jim Gray is also very much involved, the broadcaster.
Yeah.
No relation. I think that I'm curious if they decide at the end of this season to go in a completely different direction.
Like get rid of Carroll.
Yeah. And Chip Kelly and maybe not John Spytek.
Well, he's Brady's guy, so
GM.
that he's probably fine.
I just wonder if I could see this thing where, no disrespect to Pete Carroll, legend, but if they say, listen, we don't have, this isn't it. And we have a long way to go, but I'm more worried for Pete Carroll than I am. I'm not going to say more than like Mike McDaniel or these other guys who are on the super hot seat, but I'm more worried for Pete Carroll than I had ever been at any point of the season because I think Brady has got his fingerprints on this. And there's a lot of guys who Brady played for, played against, that I think he's got a pretty big network.
Didn't he choose Carroll?
I think he did, but if he realizes they made a mistake, I think that Brady has other people that he feels like he can go to.
Then why would you trust them anymore? If he chose Carroll, then why would you let Tom Brady make the next decision?
Well, I think they believe that Pete Carroll was going to raise the floor, and I don't think he has.
Well, I mean, I think that if you really credit Tom Brady for the way things go down, the three things, hiring Pete Carroll, the way you describe it won't work out, signing Geno Smith on the free agent market, that has been a real problem.
Only a 2-year deal, though. This is not hamstring you forever. They didn't give him Tua money.
Well, he clearly signed the wrong person then. And then drafting Ashton Genty at number 6 overall. It's so high.
Yep.
To draft a running back when you don't need a running back.
Well, it's not just that. They showed you how off they were on the evaluation of their own team because Pete Carroll said, we're going to be winning games out of the chute, and they took Ashton Genty with the 6th overall pick. So clearly they were way off on what they thought their team was capable of.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Max Crosby's 28. He's elite. He's amazing. How many more years of his prime do you have? It's just all going to come together. It might be, I hate to say it might be another decade of Raiders futility. I'm not sure where the light is at the end of the tunnel because that roster, they're still digging out from the Mike Mayock, John Gruden disaster. It feels like they cannot get solid footing, even with Pete Carroll.
EJ, let's throw it up on the poll. Is the Tom Brady, John Spytek, Pete Carroll Raiders experiment already a bust?
Oh, I mean, that feels unfair. After they lost 40-6 to the Colts, they have the Titans coming up, right? I feel like they have a possible get-right game, but I don't know who they can beat. Then, man, Brock, they host the Titans this Sunday. So that...
Then they're at KC.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, desperate KC team. Not where you want to be.
888-710-4ISN. You can go to @Maggie and Pearl and vote. Yes, EJ.
It's just, we go back to this conversation about Brady. It's just like, I still feel like he's going to skate any kind of accountability because he's not actually running the Raiders in quotation marks. Like he is this, minority owner who's really more of a broadcaster. But at the end of the day, like Perloff listed all the things. They all sound disastrous.
But he
you signed Geno Smith. You drafted a running back number 6. You signed a 74-year-old head coach. If this was the Browns, if this was any other organization, if this was the Jets, you'd be like, yeah, that sounds about right for a terrible organization. But because it's Tom Brady, I think the Raiders are going to wear it, but I think Brady's going to be kind of removed from it.
But
like his
Brady
first
didn't do
foray,
it. Like, he's not the president of the team. Like, it's not his job.
I know, but I think that's exactly what EJ is talking
that's exactly
about.
my point.
Like, we see him there with the headset on the Monday night game in the coaching box, and Schrager said, like, for quarterback, especially for quarterback situations, I think they certainly lean on him, and I think they picked him over Sam Darnold. I mean, they tried for Stafford, right? But that didn't happen.
I mean, listen, who coached Geno Smith last year? Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll made this decision. He was comfortable. Who loves to draft running backs in the first round and then have them not be good? Pete Carroll. This is Pete Carroll's design. Like, this is all Pete Carroll. I mean,
but at the end of the day, though, didn't Brady sign on to that? Like, he's the one who hired him.
Yeah, he figured Pete Carroll's going to make. I don't think Brady was his hands on those. I think he signed off on them, but I don't think he necessarily made those decisions. But they feel very much like Pete Carroll decisions.
But in the day, though, I think the problem with Brady has been what we've heard from the entire Raider thing is that we're not trying to rebuild. That we got to do this. We got to get this team a winning team quickly. But the problem was this is clearly a team that needed to rebuild. Like, this was not a team that you could microwave this thing and then be at the top of the AFC West. The other teams are too good, and they had too many issues. The fact that you're saying, well, yes, it was a Pete Carroll thing. A lot of these moves do look like Pete Carroll, but I think part of it was because Brady was like, all right, what's the fastest way to make this team a winner? Let me get 2 guys that won somewhere else. When he really should have been thinking, how do I build this thing up from the ground so we have something sustainable? We know this isn't sustainable.
Yeah, and also the other thing is, like, why would Tom Brady be a good team builder? And I disagree. I don't think he's 100% in on the draft. Like, I mean, listen, a GM should be working 20 hours a day for 4 months coming into that late April date. Do you really think Tom Brady was doing that?
I don't, and I still think his opinion carries weight, which is also part of the problem. So he's not doing the 20 hours a day, but they're still either asking opinion or he's giving it unsolicited, and they're listening to it. So I think it's not right. I think it's a wrong process.
Well, how do you know they're listening to it?
Because they said that they are. I mean, Schrager said, I don't know what, I'm going to trust that Peter's, information here is correct, that he's on the phone with Chip Kelly 2-3 times a week.
Do you think 2 or 3 phone calls a week to the offensive coordinator is going to affect the outcome of the game? Do you think that's probably just, like, I'm sure.
But they're doing movie reviews?
Do you know how many hours of work go into a game prep? 600 hours or something. Like, there's a whole staff that does that.
Then why do they talk if it doesn't mean anything?
Why'd they hire Chip Kelly after last year? That's another question.
Fair. 888-710-4ISN. I think that's EJ's point. They thought they could microwave a contender.
Well, yeah.
Or a playoff team, I guess.
If you want to take an offense and gut it, then maybe Chip Kelly's your guy. I'm sorry, but like, I saw Chip Kelly at Ohio State. He had the most talented team arguably in the last 20 years, and he could barely get a yard against Michigan. So that being said, that's all I will say on Chip Kelly.
So it does seem like you think this Raiders experiment is already a bust.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, I didn't think the Raiders have been bad since what's that? Barrett Robbins ran away at the Super Bowl in Tampa Bay in 2002. And because of that ownership group, they are not going to be better. I've never changed my opinion on who the Raiders are. They're going to have a hard time digging out of this. They make mistakes, and what is the common thread of all their mistakes? Same owner. Like, they are really in trouble. When's the last time they were a playoff team? With 2016, I mean, when's the last time they were like a factor?
It's been a while. I mean, they had a chance to win that game in Cincinnati with Rich Bisaccia and Derek Carr. And Derek Carr, I believe, did he throw a pick on that last drive? He did something to mess it up. 888.
2 playoff appearances in 22 years.
And one of them, Carr was hurt.
Yes.
Matt McGloin.
2016.
888-710-4ISN.
Is that bad?
888-710-4476. Okay, lots more to do. You can weigh in on the Raiders. Is this already a bust? We've got more, including Odyssey legal expert AmyDash, who's going to join us in the next segment. We're going to try to get to the bottom of what Mark Sanchez could be facing after an alleged assault in Indianapolis over the weekend. It's M&P.
You're in a 5-minute break. 4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Not a lot of joy here for Andrew Perloff. Welcome back, Maggie and Perloff Show. Had a banking scandal last night and my Phillies lost. It was a disaster all around for Perloff. Stayed up super late on the phone. But I have to relive it now because Andrew Bogusch is here with headlines.
Wait, hold on. Does it rise to the level of scandal when you leave your ATM card in the ATM?
Well, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
But somebody took it and tried to charge hundreds and hundreds of dollars of stuff on that. Most of it got denied by the bank. So that was a scandalous part. It was on me. But to be fair, I am in total chaos because my wife had recently had surgery and she's bedridden. And man, I didn't realize she did that much for the house. Been an education.
Yeah, I mean, women, what are we even doing? Turns out a lot.
Most of it's on her though, because she
wants to do it.
No. It's not that. She has this habit of anything. Say I put on my daughter puts on a sweatshirt and tries it on in the morning. She's like, no, I'm going to wear something else, and puts it to the side. That will go straight into the wash. Towels that are hung up for drying go straight into the wash again, even though they have not been used. She puts everything she can into the wash. So there's a constant churning of wash in our house.
You know, you bring up a good point. Can we throw this up as a poll question? How many showers do you go with one towel before you put it in the washing machine?
Yeah, like at a hotel, for example, there's a sign saying, please reuse the towels for the environment. My wife is the opposite. She can't stand anything lying around. Clean or dirty, goes straight into the wash. So I'm sitting there folding clothes till 2 a.m. last night.
Well, why can't you end this now? Can't you just not wash these things?
No, because she limps around on her crutches and finds them and puts them in.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's go around the horn. How many days in between towel washes, guys? Everyone. I mean, I'll go first. I think I'm like 3 to 4 showers, and then I'll wash the towel.
That sounds about right.
0.
That's crazy.
Not for me.
Yeah.
My wife has a particular OCD thing about towels hanging up. She doesn't like it.
Mm.
I mean, when I was not living with Andrea, I was like pro off. I changed the towel every day.
Really?
No.
But we had a million towels.
No. When I was single, I don't think the answer was never.
Once a month.
No, I'm saying it's the opposite. For me, was I changed it every. Yeah, I never reused the towel from the day before. Never.
You never hung up the towel to dry and just reused it again?
I wasn't until I met Andrea that I started doing that.
No way.
I like a brand new towel. I'm doing this purely because Andrea.
It's like I don't want to wash them all the time because
she kind of does the towels mostly, so she's like, you're doing this, I'm not doing this. So she's like, all right, then I'll just go by your rules.
So here's the other part about it. It's like, in theory, the towel is always being used when you're clean, at your cleanest, quite frankly. Yeah. So I think it can be used a couple different times.
So I had this conversation, not about a towel, but about a bar of soap. Okay. Is a bar of soap always clean?
Yes.
I treat it like it is.
That's a great question.
Like if you dropped it, let's just say you dropped it in dirt somehow somewhere.
Yeah. Let's say you're Rikers Island.
Or like, when we go to the beach in the summer, there's an outdoor shower. You can drop
into the dirt.
Yeah. So like, is that now dirty, or you just scrub it, like you wipe it off and it's clean again, right?
No, the sand is clean now.
The sand is clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of feel like soap just has superpowers.
Right.
I treat it like it does.
Yeah.
And by the way, outdoor shower.
The best.
And there's nothing better.
Yep.
All right. You can put up on the poll question. How many showers do you go? Do you use the same towel?
Manny didn't answer, and I need his answer on this one.
Yeah, you're the only single guy here.
I go a week, and then, you wash it, and then the second one that you have in the holster in case the first one gets dirty, that gets used for a week, and, that's how we rotate.
Yeah.
I actually just saw this on TikTok. I don't know why I'm sure. It's on the show New Girl. There's a scene where they argue about how often to wash the towels. Sure. And the guy goes, the towel's to clean me, not for me to clean it. I thought that was a really funny line.
We can get into a whole thing if you guys want to go sheets and pillowcases.
Oh, that for single men, that's a never.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, well.
Andrea was mortified.
Correct.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you wash every towel, but you were leaving the sheets in.
Yeah, well, the thing was, I'd have like 10 towels in my dirty clothes.
Yeah.
Like I'd go 2 weeks. But my family, we're a huge family, so we have 1 million towels. So like we could spare.
Yeah, you have 4 brothers. There's 3 brothers.
Yeah. So we could spare. So I was fine. So I wasn't like I was washing towels every day. I was not. I was just doing laundry every 8 days. I'm like, oh crap, we're running out of towels. I guess I got to do laundry. So here's 20 towels that I'm throwing into the wash.
But meanwhile, the sheets and pillowcases.
Sheets and pillowcases, I'm the total opposite.
All right, let's get to Bogusch.
After Trevor Lawrence's stumbling, bumbling 1-yard touchdown run with 23 seconds left in Monday Night Football, we have 17 games now with last-minute go-ahead scores this season. That is the most through 5 games since the 1970 merger. Lawrence got tripped backing away from center, fell again before finding the end zone, and a 31-28 W over the Chiefs.
I couldn't stay down because we didn't have timeouts, so whatever I could do to just get up as fast as possible, and I ended up tripping again. So that was great. I'm sure it looks pretty funny on the tape. So, but yeah, I mean, what a crazy finish.
And now his Jaguars are 4-1 for the first time in 18 seasons. The Chiefs' issues included a 99-yard pick six, 13 penalties worth 109 yards, and shoddy special teams. Andy Reid leaning on some optimism.
As much as these losses hurt, there's and the wins, there's always good and bad in each. Things you can learn from and move forward with. We've got to make sure we do that.
And no rest for the weary. KC's next game Sunday night against the Lions. Dodgers second baseman Tommy Edman seemed to have a right arm malfunction at the worst possible time last night.
Kicks and fires. Turner swings. Ground ball to second. Scooped up by Edman. He throws first. Dug out by Freddie Freeman. He picks it and saves the game. That's a win for L.A.
Barely. Steven Nelson, Dodgers radio. Edmonds' throw inexplicably ugly, but saved by Freeman. The Phillies had already scored twice in the ninth. The tying run was in scoring position, but L.A. wins 4-3 for a 2-0 series lead. The Brewers have that as well after a pair of home wins, 7-3 over the Cubs last night. And Cooper Flagg had 10 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 block in 14 minutes in his preseason debut. The Mavs beat the Thunder 106-89. Guys, back to you.
Bogusch, thank you so much. All right, this Mark Sanchez story just keeps getting weirder and weirder, and so we want to bring in our Odyssey legal insider, Amy Dash, to help us kind of make sense of this whole thing. Just to catch everybody up, Mark Sanchez has now been charged with felony battery following the altercation he got into over the weekend in Indianapolis, where he was stabbed after he allegedly attacked a truck driver, all according to authorities. Amy Dash joining us now. Good morning, Amy. Thanks so much for doing this. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing great. How about you guys? And I agree, a bizarre story.
Oh, yeah. The details of this are funky, but let's get to the legal aspect of it. So a level 5 felony battery that they're saying could carry jail time. Can you explain this classification and how likely is it that Mark Sanchez, if found guilty, would actually serve jail time?
Sure. So initially, there was a bunch of misdemeanors involving battery, which is, harmful physical contact, unauthorized entry of a motor vehicle, the allegation, obviously, that Sanchez was trying to get into the truck himself. It was a grease truck, as you mentioned, and there was a man, it was around 12:30 in the morning, who was collecting grease from restaurants when he claims that he was approached by Sanchez, who was upset that he had parked in an alleyway that Sanchez was in. He was also originally charged with public intoxication, and then what happened was when police saw how badly this truck driver was injured, apparently he had a very deep laceration to his cheek. His whole cheek was cut open. It extended to his tongue area, and then there were some other potential injuries involved. Also, because there were serious bodily injuries, they decided to upgrade, as you said, Maggie, to this level 5 felony charge, which actually carries 1 to 6 years in prison, usually with a recommended sentence of 3 years, plus the misdemeanors stay. And actually, I'm hearing more charges could be filed depending on how the investigation unfolds. So the likelihood, though, if Sanchez doesn't have a criminal history, that he would get jail time, well, it's a little bit dicey. So there could always be a plea deal. But what has happened is that prosecutors and the police that are involved have made a number of public press conferences where they've basically said that they don't really care the status of the person, how famous a person is. Anyone who comes into the city and commits an alleged act of violence is going to be held accountable. So I think there's also a disparity here between 38-year-old man, as police say, allegedly initiating violence against a 69-year-old man who would be considered a senior citizen, who had a legal right to be in that alleyway doing his job at 12:30 in the morning, who was allegedly hard of hearing, and then they're claiming there is surveillance video from multiple angles that reportedly capture Sanchez approaching this driver, the driver, them engaging in a conversation, the driver at one point trying to get back to his truck, and then Sanchez reportedly initiating some sort of physical contact with him. The reports say that he threw him against a wall, that he threw him on the ground. All of this remains to be seen whether it's true. But if in fact he initiated it, if there is a public agenda going on here to make sure that people don't initiate violence as visitors in a city, especially if they have a level of fame to them, then maybe he could get a little bit of jail time here, even if he doesn't have a criminal history.
Amy, might sound like a dumb question, but when level 5 felony, 1 to 6 years, when I read that, I'm like, oh, that means a minimum of 1 year. But that's not what that actually means, because you're saying they can reach a plea deal where there's 0 years.
Correct. However, because, like I said, of the public interest here, the prosecutors may not offer such a plea deal.
Okay.
Even though he doesn't have a criminal history.
So a plea deal
of
can
what I mentioned.
overwhelm the sentencing guidelines. You're saying they don't, even so it says 1 to 6, they don't have to stick somewhere between 1 and 6. They can come up with a new penalty.
Well, that depends on if there's a plea deal offered. And I know it's a little bit complicated, but if there is no plea deal offered, then the 1 to 6 would be on the table if he's found guilty.
Amy Dash is joining us, Odyssey legal insider, and we're trying to get to the bottom of this Mark Sanchez situation, what Sanchez could really be facing here, as the charges have now been not just elevated, they have been elevated to a level 5 felony, but as Amy just told you, those misdemeanors, Pearl, that he was charged with initially, those still stay as well. Amy, I'm curious a little bit, so part of the weird part of this story is that Sanchez was the aggressor and also the guy who ended up getting stabbed in the hospital. And I understand that the 69-year-old truck driver also went to the hospital with the injuries that you just outlined. But the police chief had mentioned something about stand your ground, right? Like these, I've heard that before in other legal cases, and that there's a pretty robust one in Indianapolis. So the fact that Mark Sanchez did not have a weapon at all, does that help his case in any way if he is found guilty of assault or no?
Personally, I don't think so if there is, in fact, all of this surveillance video from multiple angles showing him being the initial aggressor, and also apparently there were a bunch of witnesses as well. Of course, he is innocent until proven guilty. He's going to have an opportunity to give his side of the story. But I'm glad you brought up stand your ground. In many states, when it comes to self-defense, including in Indiana, there are laws called stand your ground laws, and they apply outside the home. You may remember this actually from the George Zimmerman case, because this is where it sort of came into the national conversation. So if you're in a vehicle, if you're protecting your property, even if you're in a public space, as long as you have a legal right to be there, you can use force, sometimes deadly force, if you have a reasonable belief that you're facing imminent bodily injury. Now, the force generally has to be proportional to the threat, but it's based on what a reasonable person in your situation would believe and what you believed. And so what the truck driver said to police after the incident is that he believed that Sanchez was going to kill him, and that is why he reached for his pepper spray. He reached for a knife that he had on him. Doing work, collecting grease from restaurants as a truck driver, 12:30 in the morning. He had these devices to potentially protect himself from threats. Now, some states actually have a duty to retreat first before resorting to force or deadly force. And interestingly, the police report indicates that he did try to run away but was pursued by Sanchez. And also, interestingly, in Indiana, there's actually no duty to retreat first. So not only do you allegedly have video of the driver trying to retreat and being pursued, but also you have his statements that he believed Sanchez was trying to kill him, plus video of the physical altercation allegedly started by Sanchez. So it's quite strong that, the self-defense claim here, even though Sanchez got stabbed, would basically absolve this truck driver of any type of not only criminal charges for that, but also provide civil immunity for someone in Indiana who uses justifiable self-defense. So this means a defendant who harms or kills a person in self-defense not only will not be found guilty of the crime, but can also not have any civil liability for the injuries brought by the person or their family.
Amy, do you think there's any potential downside for the prosecutor and the public officials to try to make a quote-unquote example out of Mark Sanchez? Because it's a big convention town. They want to be friendly to outsiders. Like, why do you think that there can't be a rash of broadcasters getting in fight? Like, what's the point of this? Oh, we're not going to let this outsider get away with this. Is there any chance that doesn't really help them as much? Because it feels like the facts are on the prosecution side, but they seem to want to make it a bigger issue.
I think it does help them in terms of tourism, in terms of people feeling safe in the city, because if the facts are true that there was alcohol involved or potentially other substances on top of alcohol involved, this was something that was taking place 12:30 in the morning before Sanchez was set to call a game the next day, so he was a visitor there. If he was frequenting that pub by the alleyway where this driver was legally parked, apparently, and trying to do his job at 12:30 in the morning, and there are some reports, I'm not sure if they're true, but there are reports that Sanchez was doing some sort of wind sprints or doing something bizarre in that alleyway. The driver said that Sanchez smelled of alcohol, and that really scared him. This man was apparently hard of hearing, not wearing his hearing aids when Sanchez reportedly approached him about the parking space where he was doing his job. And when he leaned in to hear what Sanchez was saying to him, that's when he claims that he smelled alcohol in the breath, that Sanchez's speech was slurred. And then if the surveillance video shows that Sanchez then started a physical altercation with him over a parking spot that he had a legal right to be in to do his job, then I think the public interest would be to hold Sanchez accountable. I really don't think fame has anything to do with it. I think basically the statements were that we don't care if you're famous or not. You cannot come into the city as a visitor and commit violence against somebody, and especially since, there's a big disparity, not only in age between the two of them, but if in fact all of this is true, Sanchez is, over 6 feet tall. He's over 200 pounds allegedly. So for him to initiate something physical with an elderly person doing their job over something as trivial as a parking space, that is something that prosecutors want to make sure they send a very loud and clear message is not acceptable in the city.
Amy, can't tell you how much we appreciate your expertise. Amy Dash is Odyssey Sports legal insider and answers all of our questions so we can understand it. So thank you so much for that, Amy.
My pleasure. Thanks, guys.
Okay. Talk to you soon, because I'm sure this is not the last twist and turn we're going to hear about Mark Sanchez. I got another question for Perloff off of this Sanchez thing. We'll do that after the break. We're back in just moments on the Maggie and Perloff Show.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. 3 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
They fictionalize like the music group, like Josie and the Pussycats or something like that.
There's no way they know who Josie and the Pussycats are.
Probably not.
Josie and the Pussycats, long tails and ears perhaps.
I do. You kidding me? Josie and the Pussycat. Something, 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 something.
It's Maggie and Perloff.
The hell?
On the Infinity Sports Network.
Josie and the Pussycats.
EJ, you were pretty right on.
Yeah. Not bad. All right.
First ball I got.
Defensive Player of the Week is brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. I think EJ has two ways to make me suffer with this defense. He could go with Nick Bonito, who tortured the Broncos pass rusher, who tortured the Eagles, or Max Muncy, who had the play of the night to ground a bunt and throw out a Philly at third base last night. I think he went baseball and went Max Muncy at the LA Dodgers.
Well, I would respect it if he did, because to make an already Philadelphia sports fans week worse is something I can get behind.
He's not me, man. I would have done that.
I think he's just going to go with last night's big interception return for a touchdown. Devin Lloyd, fantastic job. He's been a menace all season long, and I think EJ just went for the obvious one.
All right. Well, Manny, play it.
Arms outstretched, shotgun snap, quick throw. It's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off on the play, and here comes the wonderful linebacker running up the middle. It's Lloyd. He takes it on the sideline, 30, 40, chasing to the 50. Down the sideline, 40, 30, 20. Foot race to the 10, 5, touchdown! Touchdown! Mahomes has been picked off by Devin Lloyd. Near the goal line. Down the sideline for 6. A pick 6.
Devin Lloyd is your defensive player of the week. Yesterday's pick 6 of Patrick Mahomes really turned the tide in the game. That ended up being a real seesaw game, but I think really made you believe that maybe the Jaguars are going to do something special last night. And they did. That was a signature win. Devin Lloyd's had an incredible season. He has 4 picks this year. He has 4 picks previous this year for his entire career. He's already matched his career total in just one season. Devin Lloyd, you are the Navy Federal Defensive Player of the Week.
That was the most exciting thing to happen tonight.
That cut he had when Patrick Mahomes tried to tackle him, that was like, they should line that guy up at running back. That was a great return.
Another two-way player?
Yeah, I forgot they already have a two-way player. My bad.
It's a chicken wing.
And Travis Hunter was good last night. Made a really acrobatic catch that was really exciting. Played a lot of snaps on defense from what I could tell. Did pretty well for himself. At one point was limping. But
yeah, he got a little banged up, maybe a cramp. I actually, when he went to the bench, looked like an injury. I thought about what you said. You were already wear down doing both things. But he only played a normal amount of snaps. He was like 25 on defense and 35 on offense. That feels like the split, something like that.
Is it even that many?
Well, I heard he had 60 total last night.
Did he have 60 total? All right.
Which is, I think that's what you get. That's a normal total.
I have a question for you we just did an interview with AmyDash, our Odyssey legal insider, about Mark Sanchez. And if you missed any of that, you can always check out the Maggie and Perloff podcast. It's available every day. Or you can hit the rewind function on the Odyssey app, which is really, really great. And it's very easily labeled and all of that. Because we label all the segments of the show. So you're good either way. Here's my question we ran out of time for. What if Mark Sanchez, who obviously got into this altercation in Indianapolis with a 69-year-old truck driver, and the guy was claiming that he thought Sanchez was going to kill him, like threatening him, and he stabbed Sanchez many times, and Sanchez ended up in the hospital. What if Sanchez has a defense of, I got drugged, or someone slipped something into my drink, or something like that? Does that actually hold up? Like, I was not myself. I was not of sound mind and body because I got tricked into something.
You should ask Amy.
Well, we didn't have time.
My bad.
You were a paralegal.
That's a great question. I mean, I would think that would be a massive factor in the decision. I think it would maybe not get him off the hook, but he's certainly not going to jail if that's the case.
Because it's like, there's like, people claim like insanity and stuff like that. I'm just saying like a temporary insanity, just like if somebody did spike his drink in some way. Because listen, how he was acting, according to some of these details, seems pretty outrageous. Like more than alcohol.
Yeah.
I don't know. Allegedly. I'm not trying to, get Mark Sanchez in more trouble or anything. I'm just saying running wind sprints in an alleyway at 12:30 at night, the mace didn't work. The pepper spray didn't have any effect on him. Like those are weird details.
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing is weird too. And a guy who I don't believe has been arrested. So in the past, like, it's not like he had this reputation of being Mr. Nice Guy.
Does seem out of character
for a long time.
But we don't know him. So
yeah. I mean, people who do work with him have said unbelievably nice things about him to the T. Like every Fox employee is like, yeah, he's really cool to work with. So, people sometimes flip a switch when they're drunk, and you're right, and say it was something else. But that's a great question. Is there a defense here? It seems to me he's going to say, unfortunately, I don't remember anything. So his side of the story might be the footage and everything. He might not even have a story. He might not have a side because if he was that drunk, a couple of things I don't understand. Like, what did he do to make the poor truck driver's face explode like that? Was it just his fists?
I don't know.
Did he throw him against a wall? There's a lot of little details that we don't know yet. Also, how big was the knife? Like, why was he walking so well after being stabbed multiple times?
Yeah, we saw that in some of the footage that the police, made public, where he goes back to the bar I don't know if he was at that bar or he was behind the bar in the alleyway, and he goes to the bar. That's where the bartender saw him bleeding and like brought towels out for him and kind of helped him. But so we see footage of him walking to the bar, and he's not like stumbling all around like he just,
Right. After being stabbed in the chest to be able to walk. I mean, frankly, he was walking better than I normally walk. But he is a former professional athlete. You have to remember that too. Amy brought up the size difference. She said that made a big difference. The fact that he was 39 and a prime athlete going against a 69-year-old.
Yeah.
That's not
Senior
good.
citizen.
Yeah.
All right, we'll keep an eye on this story, of course. Thank you, EJ Stewart, Manny Rodriguez, Andrew Bogusch, Andrew Kaplan, Amy Dash. Enjoy the baseball. Gets going this afternoon at 4 o'clock Eastern time. Talk to you tomorrow.